Well, with the last two games left in the regular season, the Mariners do have the division and their second seed all wrapped up, but we still have Mariners regular season baseball to go through. Good evening, everyone. This is Rooftop Sports, and here I am joined by the as usual partner in crime, Jay Trident Podcast. And I just want to say happy Saturday to everyone and happy to the fact that we are in the playoffs. And also, it's Harry Ford Day. He finally gets his long awaited MLB start as a catcher, and I am very happy about this. Much of us fans were crying for this to happen, and even most of us fans were like, let him bat with, especially when like Mitch Garver got those first two hits, and it was like, okay, he did his job. Now let's let Harry Ford do the job. So I am very excited for this game. There is much to watch on this, and that we are still on the home run watch of Cal Raleigh, who is still has time to break any kind of record, at least best case scenario to Aaron Judge's 62. But Jay Trident Podcast, how are you doing today?
Doing well, and echoing kind of what you said. Obviously, I think the things to watch in this game are, can Cal get one, to set us up maybe for tomorrow, breaking the record. Excited to see Harry Ford get a start. Not only a start, but a start behind the plate. Wasn't sure if they were going to do it. I talked about it a little bit last night. I'm like, maybe they don't give him a start at catcher because they don't want the pitchers, pitching to him, their last start before the playoffs. But good to see them go with Harry Ford behind the dish and kind of get some guys some days off now as the Mariners are firmly in the 2 seed. So I'm watching for the dumper and just, to make sure Logan and the pitchers are dialed in before we get into the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And it does seem that the opportunity for the 1 seed was severely, just absolutely shut down by the Dodgers last night. As the Dodgers, it seemed like I was taking a glimpse at the score and some of the game, and it looked like a very uneventful game. Like, it looked like there was nothing much to really see, with the exception of the fact they had the bases loaded and Eugenio Suarez struck out. So that's the one little concern I do have is when he does get into that situation in the playoffs, how is he going to perform in such a high leverage situation? So I would have liked to see some kind of a game-winning hit or anything done by Gino.
Yeah, it was definitely, had a weird vibe to it. Just, I don't think we're used to. We've watched plenty of games with the Mariners out of it over our lives, but not with them locked into something. They made it interesting late. The game just kind of went along a little bit there. A lot of Dodger fans in T-Mobile for sure. Obviously like to see Gino come through there. I should say, like, there is something to this series where if you could finish with a better record than the Dodgers, if you get to the World Series, you would host it, but you can't risk the health of people for that one extra game at home if you get to the World Series either. So yeah, it kind of seemed like two teams just gearing up for the playoffs a little bit yesterday night.
Yeah, especially with both their teams got their seeds all locked in. Mm-hmm. The only thing that really matters is around the league is the Guardians and the Rangers are at 2-2. And if the Rangers actually win that game, that means the Houston Astros will be out. But that is if they win their game against the Angels. So a little bit to watch, but not really much to see. And we were just talking about it before the game. There was a part of me that was like, maybe we want the Astros in the playoffs because they're just so broken that maybe the Mariners can just catch them at the right time. But then why don't you tell me your side of it?
Yeah, and I think if we just logically look at it, that does make sense. Between Houston, Detroit, and Cleveland, Houston's just the team that's the most beat up. One thing that I didn't mention before I came on is if they got Yordan Alvarez back, that could be a big boost. But also, I just couldn't deal with getting to the DS, playing Houston and losing to Houston. I don't want to lose to anybody, but if we were to lose to Houston in the ALDS, that would just be like the worst possible scenario for everything. It would almost feel like the division title kind of taken away a little bit on top of everything else. So, listen, I'm not against playing any of these 3 teams. They're all good baseball teams when you get down to it. There are no bad teams left. But I kind of just prefer to keep Houston's kind of a sleeping giant. They've been there before. They've won before. It's kind of like the Patriots, right? Like, even when they weren't at their best, you'd prefer not to see them in the playoffs a little bit. That's kind of how I feel about Houston.
Same thing with New York Giants when they got to the playoffs in those 2 seasons. Like when they barely got in the playoffs, then they made that really just insane run to the Super Bowl twice and embarrassed or beat the Patriots twice. And we're getting close to the start time, and I forgot to get my tablet. I gotta go get that. So, Jay Trident, why don't you, while I'm getting my tablet to be able to watch the game, why don't you tell everyone about the matchup that we got today?
Absolutely. You know what? And I'm going to be a bad fan here because I'm watching Texas and Cleveland right now. I don't even have the pitching matchup up. Looks like Tyler Glasnow is going for the Dodgers today. He has a 3.30 ERA on the season. And then Logan Gilbert will be on the bump for the Mariners. Not sure how long each starter will be in there. The Mariners did make a roster move today. Casey Legumina sent to the Arizona complex. Logan Evans will be up. So that'll be interesting to see. Maybe tomorrow Logan Evans starts and they have Bryce Miller work out of the bullpen. That wouldn't completely shock me if they want Bryce to be in the bullpen for the playoffs to get him some work there. Or it could just be having Logan Evans up so you don't have to go through a bunch of relievers if you only want Logan Gilbert going 2 or 3 innings tonight. And then offensively for the Mariners, the lineup will look like this. Randy Arozarena leads off and plays left field. Cal Raleigh's going to bat second to the DHing. Julio Rodriguez bats third and plays center. Jorge Polanco bats fourth and plays second base. Gino Suarez will bat fifth and be at third. Dom Canzone bats sixth in right field. Luke Raley's batting seventh at first. Leo Rivas bats eighth and is at shortstop, and Harry Ford bats ninth, doing the catching.
Definitely looking forward to Harry Ford to see what could be done. And Harry Ford's actually 0 for 2, but he has 1 RBI off of that sacrifice fly, which was done. I think that was it was either the Cardinals or the Angels. I think it was the Angels.
How is his OPS? His OPS is 250. Oh, he was hit by a pitch. That's right. So he has an OPS. I was looking at the box score and it says OPS 250.
I saw that too. Yeah.
I'm like, wait, oh that's right. He was hit by a pitch. There we go, Harry.
Let's go, Harry. I mean, I think other things to also take of note is, the other thing we had to talk about was Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor had a little bit of a scare. He got hurt and he is not playing right now. He is considered day-to-day, so at least he's not on the IL. So I think he should be okay. You would hope. That's what we want. And same thing with Victor Robles is also on the day-to-day report.
Yeah, that's, and here we go with benefits of the bye, right? Like if you had to play on Tuesday, maybe that Naylor injury is a little bit iffy for you. But since your next game isn't from a week from today, you're in pretty good shape. And if anybody's wondering, the Dodgers rolling out a little bit more of a B-C lineup than the Mariners are. Remember, the Dodgers are playing on Tuesday. They are in the wild card round. So they actually have more reason to rest guys in this series than the Mariners do to an extent. That's why you saw like Sheehan go 1 or 2 innings yesterday, but Kirby still threw 5 innings. So no Ohtani today. Freddie Freeman's in there. Mookie Betts is in there. But no Will Smith, who I don't think played yesterday. Will Smith might be on the IL actually.
Wow.
So
he says he's a 10-day, but he said he's projected to come back right before the playoffs begin.
Oh, okay. So I imagine Glasnow probably goes an inning or 2 as well for the Dodgers tonight. But back in our day, Rooftop, you remember the 40-man Septembers, when you could bring up a bunch more guys. I'm sure both teams wish it was old school September baseball, because I'm sure both teams would love to run out 18-man bullpens where they could just have the random no-names pitch.
Let's bring in Laz Montez. Let's bring in Durangelo Saintia just for craps and giggles.
Yeah, Colt Emerson, let them have 3 at-bats, just it's not going to hurt anybody. So, although that could hurt their timeline for starting, their service time, but just in terms of, I don't know how that all works, to be honest. But other than that, I agree. You could have Ben Williamson could be up, Mastrobuoni could be up, Samad Taylor could be up, plus 6 other guys. You could have Jackson Kowar up, all these guys in the bullpen.
There could have been a lot of options. And before, I didn't even get to mention this as well before we get to that first pitch, but this is now my 70th show of the season, a huge milestone, which I am very proud of. And Jay Trident, you were part of history, and
absolutely.
Yeah, 2023, I only had 39 shows. 2024 bumped it up to 60. And now I have reached 70. The goal was 100. I didn't get there because of hashtag don't quit your day job situations. But considering that I got to 70, I am still very happy what I've got to close this
Absolutely.
season. Now,
And
here
then you
is
got
the
more
first
coming.
pitch. Here's the first pitch. I think this is Freddie Freeman. Now, here's the pitch. And that's not Freddie Freeman. Excuse me. That is, I think that's Tommy Edman. That was Tommy Edman. But yeah, more games to come. I am at least guaranteed two to three games, at least guaranteed. Now, Tommy Edman is facing an 0-1. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball popped up into center field. And Julio should be there. And he makes the catch. And that is going to be one away. And we were talking about that we would definitely love 40-man rosters on this team, especially with the situation. I kind of wonder that if it had something to do with the cost, it was probably like a cost-cutting maneuver because, of course, when you call up all these baseball players from the minor leagues, you got to pay them at least at some kind of like that minimum pay level. And of course, now that they don't have that, certainly there's less opportunities for minor leaguers to squeak in for September. Now here's Mookie Betts up to the plate, the former MVP, and now here is the pitch. Up high for a ball, and I wonder if the Mariners had their hand in that on that CBA negotiations. And I still think 2021. I made this ridiculous joke claim as we got a 1-0. And now here is the pitch, and that's going to be a fly ball, more like a pop up, and that's going to be Dom Canzone. He is there, and he makes the catch. The joke claim I made was the 2021 season when they missed the playoffs by one game, even with the expanded rosters. I think it was a partial reason why the Mariners are like, hey, for that new CBA, can you give us a third playoff spot? There's a little part of me that believed that.
And I definitely agree that Stanton definitely voted for not having that many players up in September. Yeah. That's got Stanton written all over it.
He had to be the ringleader for that. I would have to say he was ringleader. Now here's Freddie Freeman up to the plate. The World Series hero. He pulled up Kirk Gibson in the last year's World Series, the pitch, and that is a strike. The only difference, though, Freeman was 100% healthy, unless I'm wrong, but Kirk Gibson, I think today's baseball players, they won't even do something like Kirk Gibson did back in 1988, as that was a strike. And now here is the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that is strike two. Looking at the postseason bracket, Mariners will be playing the winner of Cleveland, Detroit, or Houston. And the Blue Jays will be playing the winners of Yankees and Red Sox. And I would imagine that's going to get a lot of eyeballs for the rivalry game, the pitch. And that's going to be low for a ball. And if I have a schedule lined up for it, then I will definitely do some Yankees and Red Sox. And I will definitely show the Yankee fans of how the Mariners helped build their dynasty of the 90s, because I do have a video of that when the Mariners traded away Tino Martinez and Jeff Nelson.
And definitely a great potential series here. And Cleveland, Detroit, couple division series. And then in the NL, it looks like it's going to be Padres and Cubs and possibly Reds and Dodgers. So that's probably the most lopsided one. The rest of them, I think, could go either way.
Yeah, I think this playoffs is being set up to be a very exciting one, as we're at 2-2 for the Freeman. And now the pitch. And now here's going to be a fly ball to center field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Now we got Freddie Freeman on first base with a single, and you know that the Mariners are locked into a playoff spot when Julio was letting it drop. He probably would have let it drop on a high leverage kind of situation, but he really let that drop. He was walking to that ball.
Yeah, I agree. I probably would have dropped it anyways, but no chance of a dive right now in the playoffs with 2 outs. Maybe.
No, why risk it?
Yeah.
And that is a foul ball. If that was playoffs, he probably would have sprinted for that.
Especially with 2 outs, nobody on.
Yeah, he's like, well, I got to lose, right? Now we got Andy Pages, who is batting .274, 27 home runs, 85 RBIs. Why not add more to that Dodgers offensive depth? But it looks like their team was hurt by the starting pitching this season.
Bullpen too.
Yeah, definitely. And now here is the pitch. And that is going to be outside for a ball. As that's going to be 1-1. "11 pitches so far for Logan Gilbert." And speak of the pitches we were talking about, and now here is the pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball. I remember when we were talking about the Mariners and the possibility of getting Blake Snell, maybe you were like, no, the Dodgers already did it.
Just now.
Yeah, just now. Like it was literally happening during our show. And not only did and actually another YouTuber actually used my clip and put it as like a compilation montage of fans, quote, complaining about the Dodgers getting Blake Snell. And I actually have a Dodgers fan that reached out to me. He's like, hey, you're in this video, but you weren't complaining. You were just just being the messenger.
I was like, we just stated we weren't mad at the Dodgers for it. It was just like, oh, well, we can't not go to the Mariners. So it wasn't the UW game today, I know.
No, he was oh my gosh, and UW, they just by looking at it looked like they were somewhat in it, and then Ohio State just completely just shut the door fast.
Gotcha. I didn't watch it, but I kind of figured that. I didn't see anybody on Twitter going nuts, so I kind of figured Ohio State won.
It was kind of expected, the pitch. And now here's a fly ball to left field, and Arozarena makes the catch, and that's going to retire the side. And we are going to go into commercial break, which also means I'm going to get some water, because 2 big chicken breasts also means getting a huge bottle of water. So we'll be right back. And until then, enjoy a guy making pizza. Senor, tell me how you make a thin crust Sahara pizza.
With your hands. Cornmeal.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
And that's how you make a Sahara pizza. Beautiful thin crust.
Well, that was some well-needed water. And we are back from the break. And we got Randy Arozarena, Cal Raleigh, and Julio Rodriguez all due up, the core players of the Mariners offense. We got Born in 78 saying, I thought they had at least a good shot when the second, I guess they need to do more than that to get to Ohio State level. Yeah, no, I figured. Yeah, but thing is, it doesn't matter for me because I'm an ex-UW fan, unfortunately. So it doesn't matter to me. And now here's Tyler Glasnow now to Randy Arozarena. Ground ball, and that's going to be that's going to be a fair ball. No play to first. And heads up hustling by Randy Arozarena.
Take it. Good to see Randy get some hits in before. You've been scuffling a little bit. Not that he hit that hard or anything, but a couple hits. We'll see if Cal can do it. I feel like he's got to get one tonight. Got to get one tonight to have a chance tomorrow.
At least a chance to tie Aaron Judge. And, I mean, he's got to time at Roger Maris to try to get to Aaron Judge. Now here's the pitch. Now here's the fly. Foul. It looked good from that angle.
Then Cal's reaction, though, I did the same thing. I was like, oh, Cal's not tracking it, though. So,
well, I'm unfortunately tracking it. All right, Cal Raleigh's batting .248 with 60 home runs. Only Mariner to do so. And a pitch. That is inside for a ball. And you would imagine with the situation the Mariners are in, you would think that no matter what the situation is, I think he's going to go for that home run no matter what the situation is.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be. I think even last night we saw it. He's going to be swinging at anything close.
Pitch, and it's low for a ball. I remember there were some pitches. I think it was yesterday where it was like, Cal, you didn't have to swing at that. It was like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, there was one he struck out on that was a terrible pitch, but still good to see him check in yesterday with a double and a single.
I did see that. That was in the 9th inning. And now we're at 2-1 for the dumper. And now the pitch. And that is inside for a ball. And looks like even the Dodgers, Glass now also himself doesn't want to be part of history either. As he is he's at 3-1. But he doesn't want to be he doesn't want to be victim of history. As we're at 3-1. And the pitch. And now here's a fly ball line drive foul. There was an ex-Dodger back in the 2000s. Name was Chan-Ho Park. In 2001, he gave up 2 huge milestone home runs. He gave up the home run to Cal Ripken Jr. and Barry Bonds' 71st home run of the season. So I guess this guy doesn't want history to repeat itself. And also, he gave up Andy Pettit's only career home run as a pitch. Yeah, Andy Pettit. As we're at 3-2 and the pitch. And strike 3 call. That really got to his head, and now that's going to be 1 out. And he didn't like the call, which is why he's having a little chat with the umpire. I mean, it was a strike, but it's like the pitch you don't want to swing if you want to try to get a home run. It's because that would have hit the skinny part of the bat, in my opinion.
Yep. That's just a perfect pitch. Nothing you can do. You're not going to do anything with it. Yep. Yeah,
that's what you call smart baseball pitching. I mean, it's exactly what I would do as a pitcher in softball. It's all about the insides. Now here's Julio Rodriguez and the pitch outside for a ball. 3 Mariners players have reasons to hit home runs. Cal Raleigh to get, well, for obvious reasons, Suarez for 50 and Julio for his career high, possibly 33 home runs. So a lot of things are actually still on the line in these last 2 games. And now the pitch. And that is a strike. It looks like Julio also wants, I think he also wants that 33rd home run.
And also 5 RBIs away from 100 if he can, get a couple here.
So it's crazy. Still a lot on the line just for more individual performances. And the pitch. And here's going to be a ground ball. Could be a double play ball. Throw to second and the throw to first. Not even close, but I liked how Randy Arozarena, he just casually just got completely out of the way. He's like, yep, I know, I'm out.
We're not doing this today.
That was the complete opposite when Logan Morrison tried to fake out the Oakland A's try to break up an Oakland A's double play. And the umpire was like, no, that's a double play. Sorry. He was trying to wave his arms and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That was 2014. And they said that was probably the reason why they missed the playoffs by 1 game, even though wouldn't say that. Now here's a throw to second. That is not in time as Julio Rodriguez gets a stolen base. I mean, sure, we can point at that 1 game, but there were so many other games I remember in 2014 where it was like, oh, they should have won that game. They should have won that game. How about down the stretch against the Blue Jays? So many games.
Yep.
And thank goodness it was 10 years ago, so we don't have to dwell about it too much.
It's crazy. It was that long ago.
I know. Life was so much different back then.
Yeah.
Now here's the pitch. And low for a ball, and Julio Rodriguez gets the third base. And when that happened, Northwest Sports Fanatics was on ground zero with his YouTube channel.
I wasn't even thinking about YouTube. It's crazy.
I was actually having sparks of thought about it, but because I wanted to expose Mariners history of the 90s, but I just kept putting it off year after year after. I started writing scripts as early as 2018.
Oh, wow.
And I just didn't execute anything because I didn't even know what to do. Now the pitch. Now here's a ground ball foul. I mean, I know. I mean, some of us may have wondered, what if we started before the pandemic and then we could have had twice the viewers or twice the, who knows? We just never.
Also would have been some tough years. I mean, some decent teams, but some tough finishes.
I think pandemic year would have been fun to do because at least it would have really given me something to do. I would have made a lot more people happy. And I would have let there would have been a lot of venting. I think that chat box would have been very colorful back in 2020.
Yeah.
Now we're at 3-1. The pitch.
People can do.
Low for a ball. And that is going to be man on first. And now next up, I think is going to be Eugenio Suarez. Suarez had a huge opportunity to hit a game winner. Bases loaded with 2 outs, and he strikes out. Hopefully he can make something happen today, as he does have a huge opportunity to hit a career-high 50 home runs. It's just too bad that he won't be the third Mariner in history to hit 50 home runs, since most of those home runs came from the Arizona Diamondbacks.
You'd like to see Gino check in too with the base hit. Oh, walk off hit by
now
pitch
here is
Cleveland.
Oh no, it's caught.
And the Houston Astros have been eliminated on a hit by pitch. Cleveland
oh my
wins
goodness.
It 3-2. Houston
oh my
out.
goodness. Cleveland or Houston is out. Wow. What an opposite year it has been. Houston being out. I mean, after years of complete dominance, owning the American League West, with the exception of like Oakland sneaking in a division. This is now, it's over. At least for this year, at least. Like,
yeah,
I was checking the vibes from Houston fans. They were like, it stinks, but who's to say we can't rebuild for next year?
There's got to be some fatigue. I think you get to a point, you've been there so often, you've won it, that maybe there is a little bit of like, okay, like it was time.
I actually did see some Houston fans actually really nice about it. They're like, you know what? Congratulations, man. You deserve it. We don't. We stunk. But I'll give Houston credit, because with the insane amount of injuries that they had, including not even having Yordan Alvarez for like majority of the season, and they still hung around. Christian Walker wasn't even at 100%. They had just lost Kyle Tucker to trade. And the fact that they were still within 2 days of making the playoffs, I hate to say it, but I got to give credit to them that they at least made it competitive, especially for the Mariners.
Yeah, definitely. And there was a portion of the season where I kind of resigned myself again to they were going to win it. I think the Mariners were like 7.5 games back at one point, and it just didn't seem like it was going to happen for us. And, I'd kind of like, it looks like it's going to be Houston again. But eventually those injuries just caught up to them enough where they couldn't, overcome them. So we won't miss them in the playoffs. Can't say I'm extremely disappointed about it, but I think for some of them and even their fans, they're probably not as upset as, say, we would be by being eliminated.
And we are back from the break, and now here is the pitch, and that is a strike. It's gonna be Michael Conforto, and yeah, I mean, look at this lineup. Like, it's more of their B team playing. I mean, not even Teoscar Hernandez is playing. I don't even know if he even played yesterday.
He
did.
Pitch. Yeah, he was out there.
Did he get an ovation?
I don't think so. I didn't really pay attention. Not anything that was memorable. Maybe a little bit of like
a little bit of a clapper.
Nothing, yeah, but nothing major.
But maybe
didn't really have any like big moments here. They didn't make the playoffs or anything, so it's hard to really give too much.
And now the pitch. And that is low for a ball. Isn't it ironic this year that Houston built the big division lead just to crash, and they missed the playoffs by a game? Yeah, it's the complete opposite of last year.
If it weren't for Detroit's collapse, I wonder if Houston's would be talked about more, because they had a pretty substantial lead. I mean, the Mariners got dumped on for blowing a 10-game lead. I think Houston's was fairly close. I mean, Houston also has a little bit more equity with some of their wins, but they blew a pretty substantial lead. I think injuries will be the reason, though, that most people will give them a pass.
Now we're at 2-2 in the pitch, and there's not really any like prospects to really look forward to for Houston. Like, you just don't see. I mean, even just as baseball fans in general, like normally we would still hear about some big names coming up for Houston, especially within our own division, but we didn't really hear any names to look forward to, unless there's something in there, unless they're like in AA, then sure. And now 2-2, and that's going to be a foul ball. Makes me want to look up the top 100 prospects in baseball, but I don't know if Houston is even in any of them.
I don't. No, I mean, they may have someone in there, but their farm system is rated very low.
Well, there you go. And now we're at 2-2, and the pitch, and that's gonna be outside for a ball. Yeah, I'm looking at Houston. I don't think any of their prospects are even in the top 100. Actually, it's just one. It's Bryce Matthews. He is ML
We saw him
considered
this year.
MLB ready. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, yep.
And the 3-2. And that's going to be a foul ball. He's a second baseman, but aside from that, I mean, he's even ranked lower than Felnine Celestine, Gerangelo Saintia. Did I even say his name right? Johnny Farmelo. So it looks like, unless Houston can you really utilize that free agent market, I don't know what to say. And now the 3-2
Yeah.
and a foul ball.
I'm sure if you're Houston, what you'll look for is healthy Yordan Alvarez for a season, bounce back from Christian Walker, another year development from Cam Smith. Paredes stays healthy. You get Arrighetti healthy for the season, Javier. So there's definitely some reasons to believe they'll bounce back, but definitely not from necessarily
3-2.
young up and coming guys.
Oh, broken bat, and that's going to be actually caught by Leo Rivas, and that's going to be one out. And Leo Rivas, how about him? He has been huge for the Mariners in September since he got called up, and some fans were saying, why don't we just call him up now, especially when Dylan Moore was taking up all those at-bats, and unfortunately it just didn't work out for him. And the way we saw Dylan Moore's collapse happen, it was really sad, where us fans were like, Dylan, we love you, but it's time to move on, man.
Shame, too. It would have been nice to have him a part of this, run they've had, but just wasn't happening.
I mean, if we had a 2022 Dylan Moore, then that would be a Dylan Moore that we could use. Dylan Moore batted .261 with Texas with a .280 on base percentage. Nothing that's not the best, but he did better than Seattle.
Yeah. The last couple months with Seattle, I think it was like an 0.03 batting average with a 100 on base percentage.
Oh, he was just brutal. At that point, he was just a pinch runner at that point.
Yeah. Oh, Houston took a 2-0 lead. Maybe they don't know yet.
No, I think they know. Because if they have tablets and smartphones, they got to know. And now here is the 1-1 pitch. And that is low for a ball. I wonder if that was actually shown the Jumbotron going, hey, Houston just lost. And everyone's going, yay!
Well, especially in LA, it might have been. They might have put it up there.
Yeah, LA fans would have been really excited about it too. But yeah, Houston is officially eliminated, the 2-1. And that's going to be a foul ball. I remember, back after the 2018 season, we talked about this. There was a debate after 2018 whether they should blow it up, and I was actually one of the few that was like, yes, let's blow it up. I'm tired of this core. I mean, Nelson Cruz was on his last year of his contract. Cano was going through he had some performance enhancing baggage.
Yeah, that's right.
And now we're at 2. Felix was pretty much just gone. And the 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. And it seemed that James Paxton had just peaked. And there was just really not much to look forward to if we had kept that team for 2019. And I remember
A's were still good.
A's were still good. And I remember when they talked to Scott Service about it, which I actually, one of the few things I agreed with him when he said, oh, yeah, with Houston still there, Oakland still there. Yeah, this will give us some time to just catch up to them eventually. Where he basically said, we're tanking.
Yeah, they came back pretty quickly.
They did. And that was probably the best rebuilding that we have ever seen in franchise history. All those other years where you say rebuild, those weren't rebuilds. Those were just trying to get it right so many times. And pure luck. 1990s, that I hate to say that was pure luck. The pitch, swing and a miss, and that is strike 1. I mean, as much as I'm not a Jerry DiPoto and Justin Hollander fan, still have to give them credit that they were, at least they still did better than what Jack Sorenzik did and Bill Bavasi, and it's not even close.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And the pitch, and it is a strike, and that is 1-2. And to believe it or not, 2019 was actually my favorite years as a Mariners fan. At least it was my favorite losing season I followed.
Yeah, it was definitely, there was you could see a light at the end of the tunnel type thing. The season wasn't necessarily like great, but you could see what they were doing.
And that is a strike 3, and Logan Gilbert gets a strikeout. He is on fire, and we're going to go into the bottom of the second. And must I ask this, guess what was my least favorite part of 2019? I think we talked about this too.
I think we did. I swear you asked this already and I missed it. Was it outside of the Mariners or was it within the Mariners?
It was within the Mariners. Like there was
Okay.
a stretch that I was like, I didn't like it at all. And
When
I
they
maybe
started out
enjoyed it.
13 and-
I
they started
hated
out
that
13?
start. I hated it because it was like everyone was just overachieving. It just didn't feel right. Like it was like they're 13-2, great, but it's like, but Tim Beckham and what was it? Domingo Santana,
Encarnacion.
Jay Bruce. Okay, Encarnacion, I could see him doing that, but everyone else
He was good.
they were just overachieving. But best case scenario was going to be like Encarnacion was going to be a carbon copy of Nelson Cruz, and maybe like Tim Beckham finally gets it right because he was a first round pick, but then only to find out that he was a PED guy.
Yeah, I think the 13-2 start was I mean, it was obviously fool's gold because they went like 55 and 95 the rest of the way. You always have a little hope. It's like, oh, maybe they do have something here, and then it was like, yeah, no, they came crashing back pretty hard too. I think within the next 30 games, they were close to 500, if I'm not mistaken.
And they did it in a very unprecedented level.
Yeah, they got swept by
I was actually at the second game of that series, and it was painful to watch. I was like, yep, this is the Mariners that we know and love.
Yeah. But I think they actually bounced back and won 2 out of 3 against Texas right after that. So actually, I mean, there were some moments. There were some, that was fun. The offense, and they hit like home run in some like 35 straight games, something crazy to start the season.
Yeah. I think they broke the major league record for most home runs in a month too.
Yeah. I'll be right back on.
Sure. And we are back from the break, and this is Dom Canzone. And that is going to be, let's see what it was. That was a ball. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a broken bat, and that is going to be popped up to left field. And he makes the catch, and that's going to be one away.
A lot of broken bats tonight.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to look up where the 2019 Mariners was in stats. I guess they are. I don't know. I can't find them.
In terms of just
most home runs
numbers.
It was actually the Yankees at 29 in 2019 with 74 home runs in a month. I think Mariners are around the 50s.
That's crazy. The Yankees had 74 home runs in a month. The 2010 Mariners hit 101 home runs all season.
How did they even get to 100?
I mean, it's such a low number, but I know what you're saying. It's like they brought Branyan back in the second half. That probably gave him like 15.
when the season was dead, and now the pitch and a swing and a miss right at the middle, and that's going to be strike 1. By the way, there is one out. Luke Raley up to bat. He's been having a difficult season. 206, and he was mostly having an injured, riddled season, and now the pitch. Now here's going to be a ground ball right to second base, throw to first in time. We'd like to see Luke Raley get something going.
Yeah, just a little bit to finish up the season. And then Jose Lopez was on that 2010 team. He may have had 15, 20. Milton Bradley.
Milton Bradley.
Casey Kochman.
Casey Kochman was supposed to be that consistent first baseman with defense, which he has good defense, but he was good. His bat just wasn't there. The pitch.
No.
Now here's the ground ball, and that's going to be a base hit for Leo Rivas. And now we got a man on first base, and that means the wait is over. We got Harry Ford with his first official major league start. He is going to get his first at bat as a starter. So let's see this goes. And some would question is, what are the Mariners going to do with Harry Ford going in the next season? Like, are they going to Are they going to trade? Are they going to what are they going to do with him? Or are they going to have him split time like Garver? It's very unclear what they're going to do with him. And now the pitch. Now here's going to be a ground ball, and that's going to be a base hit. And congratulations, Harry Ford. He has gotten his first major league hit. That will move Leo Rivas to third base.
There we go. Get that baseball.
Yeah, give him that baseball.
Good for him. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
very happy for him. And that was like on the first pitch, too.
Yeah, it was. Solid base hit back up the middle. Look at that nice standing ovation in front of the Chrome crowd, sold out crowd.
I mean, what do you think that he could do? Like, what do you think they will do with this team? Like, I think maybe we should talk about it in commercial break.
Yeah.
First career major league hit. Good thing I was a witness to it. And now it's going to be Randy Arozarena up to the plate. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. And if Arozarena can somehow get on base, let's say he walks, Cal Raleigh could have a big opportunity to hit a grand slam home run. And how fitting, how cool would that be if he hits a grand slam home run to tie Roger Maris? And now we're at 0-1. And now the pitch. And that's going to be popped up, and that's not going to get it done. And he is there, and he makes the catch, and that is going to retire the side. We go into the top of the third inning. It is still no score. But yeah, let's talk about the Harry Ford. Like, what is your bold prediction on Harry Ford for 2026?
I've always felt like he's going to be traded. He's just always felt like the most obvious traded guy. But if they want to do or can do something like they did kind of with Garver this year, where, it wasn't just a backup catcher, it was backup catcher plus, kind of platoon DH. But I think Ford has kind of reverse platoon splits. So I don't know how, if that's just one season or if that's career wise or not. It would make some sense because you could get him enough at bats to justify him being on the big league roster for sure. You could justify it with Garver this season. I still think there's a chance he could be traded. The Mariners could just go sign a backup catcher. It doesn't have to be someone with a ton of upside. Heck, they could bring back Mitch Garver on a 1-year deal. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And so Ford may have more value in a trade. But if not, I think they kind of do what he's not going to be in the minors again next year. I don't think he can do that anymore. So I think you're either going to see him traded or essentially be in the Garver role.
At this point, I think that's what it is. But I've seen some arguments against that where the reason why they may not want to do that is because they don't want to, if he doesn't work out as a designated hitter, then that may be a concern for his trade value if they have to get to that point.
Yeah, it's tough. You always got to balance it, right? And that's what they're going to have to figure out. Do the trade offers, if they get any, I'm sure they would, does that balance out what we think he can bring to the table as a player, and then if he struggles, then that's the unfortunate side of baseball. We've seen it firsthand with guys like Ackley and Montero and stuff like that, where sometimes it just doesn't work out for certain players, but it'd be really interesting to see. I got a trivia question for you too, if you got time before the game comes back on.
Let's do it.
Okay. They just said Harry Ford was the 4th position player to make his MLB debut at the Mariners this year. Can you name the other 3?
Cole Young.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Williamson.
Yep. Other one's sneaky.
Yeah, I bet. That's going to take me some thinking.
You're good.
And not really. And now the pitch. And check swing, did he go? He did not. Logan Evans.
Position player.
Oh, position player.
Yeah.
As now we're at 1-1. So Harry Ford.
It's a random one. I saw it. I was like, oh, I would have never guessed that. I forgot he played.
And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be foul. Or I think I was swinging a miss. That's going to be strike 2. Okay, who was it? I gave up.
Rylan Thomas.
Yeah. Who would have known?
I mean, I remember it, but I wouldn't have gotten it.
I mean, I think maybe the Guardians only because and that's a foul ball. I don't know. Like Tigers, you don't want to go through Scooball. Even though the Mariners matched up well against him, maybe. But then Guardians are catching him at a hot time too. So there's not really a right or wrong answer on that. But 1-2. Now here's a ground ball, and that's gonna get through for a base hit. That's gonna be a fair ball. And Randy Arozarena, of course, doing his little lackadaisical jogging. Even in a high leverage situation, he's still jogging for that. And we got Kiki Hernandez. He's having a little bit of a dancing move. That's when you really know that both teams are locked up.
Yeah, Tigers, depends on how much Skubal pitches against Cleveland would be, because they're not going to pitch Skubal tomorrow. He was scheduled. They're not even worried about the division. They'd rather have Skubal game 1 than get home field advantage, which I agree with. So just depending on how much he pitches in the wild card round for me. I think Detroit is actually a better team, despite how hot Cleveland is. Cleveland's offense is not very good, but man, they can dink and dunk you, and they have enough pitching. Cleveland's a little more top heavy with like Riley Green, Tarek Skubal, but I think they're not as balanced. Mariners are pretty good against both teams. You know what? Here's my answer. The Mariners should beat both of them, whoever they play. That would be.
They got to beat anyone that they get up to the pitch. And that's going to be popped up into left center field, and Randy Arozarena is there, and he makes the catch. I mean, there's no question that Tigers do have the better pitching. But either way, it's playoff baseball, so it doesn't really matter. So the Mariners have just better.
Yeah, I actually
be ready
don't know
for
if
it.
the Tigers have better. They have better top line with Skubal, but I think depth wise, Cleveland's pitching is actually like their bullpen's better. I think, and I think their starting depth is better. If you beat Skubal, you're set. Like you're in heaven. But do you beat him, and how many times does he pitch? So, but I think both teams are worse than the Mariners. Who's Yankees versus one of those teams? My answer is easy. But Cleveland, Detroit.
Now throw to second, and it's not in time. Yeah, Yankees and Red Sox. I would be terrified to face them. I mean, they're both East Coast teams. Yankees have
one of them.
Yankees have definitely had the Mariners' number since the Aaron Judge era too.
Yeah, hopefully they end up playing in the wild card round. Just beat each other if one of them gets eliminated.
Yeah, make it all 3 games at least with like heart attack, extra inning type games.
27 innings.
Where they burn up all their bullpens. As now we're at 1-0. And now here is the pitch. Now here's going to be a ground ball, and that's going to go to first. And that is in time. That's going to be 2 outs, but Kiki Hernandez moves to third base. He's catching up with Eugenio Suarez. I think they're really good buddies. I think Kiki Hernandez might be from Venezuela, so I think that might track. He's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Now we got Mookie Betts. He's had quite a down year, batting .261, 20 home runs, and 82 RBIs. Not exactly the MVP form that we remembered.
Yeah, didn't he catch that? He had like a worm or something when he was in Japan. Wasn't it something like that when they started the year in Japan? He had like some sort of virus or bug or something, or it was something pretty nasty.
I know he hit a home run though in the Japan series, and also he had a controversial moment that wasn't his fault. It was that the Yankee fans tried to interfere with him and the pitch, and that's going to be a ball.
That was the World Series, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, all I can say is that's New York fans for you. They are very up in your face. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. And if you want to get an idea about New York culture, go watch Sopranos. I know it's in New Jersey, but they definitely had the New York vibes right in your face. And all those characters, they definitely showed their New York personalities right in your face.
Well, Kevin, I see your I want the Jays to win the East, so the Yankees have to play the Red Sox.
In the pitch. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. The other question, too, is let's say, I know it's too far thinking, as we're at 1-2, if Blue Jays and Mariners face off in either the division series or the American League Championship Series, do the Mariners put a tough mandate on do Mariners fans gets dibs first on those tickets, because the last thing we need to see is another Canadian invasion in our home field. As now we're at 1-2. And now the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is going to retire the side. Aside from Kiki Hernandez getting to third base, Logan Gilbert gets out of the inning. And now we're going to go into the bottom of the third, and it's still no score.
Looking for that Cal home run. Yeah, it's going to be interesting how they'd handle that with the tickets. I don't know how that all works. I know it's harder to get second and third-party tickets for postseason games. Are a lot more expensive. So I think you'd certainly see a lot less Blue Jays fans than you'd see in the regular season, but I'm sure you'll get some. It probably, like if the Mariners were to play, the Tigers in the ALCS, I'm sure it'd be, 99% Mariners fans. Maybe with the Jays, it's 92 to 8%. I don't know, something like that. But I think it would still be mostly all Mariners fans.
Go look at Immaculate Grid, which we'll do for the next inning. I'm going to say 908 or 907. And since you have more subscribers than I do, between 908 and 907, make your choice. But I already know which one you're going to choose. I already know.
I haven't seen them, so I'll go 908.
No. Look at him. No, look at them first.
Okay.
What fans do you think travel better, Yankees or Red Sox?
I think Red Sox, I would feel like.
Yeah, possibly. I can see Yankee fans traveling well because some of them, especially middle-class New Yorkers, I've seen their houses where they live. They're like small studio apartments. So they'll do anything to get out of the house and get out of New York sometimes, because New York's a very stressful environment. So I would think they would just...
I'll still go 908. I'll challenge myself. I'll still go 908.
Challenge yourself. Okay.
I'm going to challenge myself.
And I have home field advantage on that one.
That's right.
And we're getting close to being back from the break. How were there not ticket limits when they came on sale for the DS? What do you mean, Kevin Kirby?
How were there not ticket limits when in terms of how many each person could buy? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't
at
know
least. And we are back from the break, and now here is Cal Raleigh up to the plate, and you can guess how he's going to be approaching this one. And now the pitch, and that's going to be a nice curveball. Then that was a strike. That one dropped really quickly, and that's going to be 0-1. Cal Raleigh has already struck out in this game, batting .247 with 60 home runs and 125 RBIs. That's going to be up high for a ball, and that's going to be 1-1. And now the pitch.
Oof.
And that's going to be a foul ball. And he was really trying to get to that. He was really trying. He really wants it. But I think deep down, I think if he doesn't get anywhere near Aaron Judge, like if he doesn't hit a home run after today, I think he might just go lax tomorrow.
Yeah, I would say if he doesn't get one tonight, just give him tomorrow off.
He maybe even do that, yeah. Let Harry Ford get his little reps. As we're at 1-2, and now the pitch, and a swing and a miss, strike 3. It's really getting to him. I think that number 61's really got to his head, because he's got Roger Maris and Aaron Judge right in front of him.
Yeah, and the game just not like, I think he's definitely going for it. It's pretty clear that he's trying to, as he should. I mean, you don't want him to get so out of his game where the swing is, a mess. But I think he's trying to get the record.
You can buy as many as you want. So if you're a scalper, you can buy them all and make bank.
I mean, there's got to be some limit, right? I mean, you couldn't buy like 1,000, I'm sure. Like there has to be some, I would think. It's got to be like some kind of limit on it. Not that anybody has the money to like buy 50,000 tickets, but. And
now here is Julio Rodriguez, and that's going to be a line drive. That is going to be a play from second throw to first in time. Great play by the second baseman, and that is going to be 2 outs. That was a scary little comebacker, and that went to Miguel Rojas, who made
That
the
was a
amazing
great play. Good thing we've
Yeah.
already clinched, because otherwise that play would have driven me nuts.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Like when that week started, I was like, let's just sweep Colorado and just get it over with. But even if, let's say they took 2 out of 3, I think they would have still at least won one of those games, especially with the way Dodgers are approaching it. They are pretty much just playing their second unit people. So I
Agreed.
think Mariners would have had a really good chance either way. And plus their approach to the game would have been a bit different had it been a different situation. And now here's Jorge Polanco up to the plate, and now here is the pitch. And that is a strike. Jorge Polanco, he has came a long way from last year, batting .265, 25 home runs, and 75 RBIs. To say that he could be a comeback of the year candidate would be an understatement. That's a ground ball and fouled. I mean, last season he hit 16 home runs, barely batted 200. And then when he was signed on to the Mariners, I think most people, including me, were like, "Oh boy, this is really our 2025 edition, isn't it? More like a re-edition." But then you said it's a McDonald's cheeseburger, and there you go, and it turned into a 1990s Big Mac.
I was gonna say it went classic, but the legit Big Mac.
Yeah,
it was good.
I didn't even. That's a sad thing is I didn't even get to enjoy that Big Mac. By the time I had my first Big Mac, which was 2010, I think it was already trending down.
I think it was. Yeah, it was still. I don't remember, to be honest, but yeah, it lost its luster. I feel like around that time, like 06, 07. I don't know the specific date, but
and strike 3 called, and that's going to retire the side. And now it's time to get into the immaculate grid. And let's get that screen over here. There we go. What do you got?
All right, Pirates and Giants. Give me Freddie Sanchez for Pirates and Giants.
There we go.
All right, what's that? 100+ run season?
Yep.
Pirates, give me Jack Wilson. Did he probably did it at some point.
Jack Wilson. Nope, he didn't do it.
Did not. Oh man. Okay. Braves and A's. Give me Tim Hudson.
16%.
Yes. Playing left field minimum 1 game for the A's. Travis Buck.
That is obscure. Oh, very obscure.
Left field Giants 1 game. Ryan Klesko.
Ryan Klesko. Didn't think he was a Giant. That is obscure as it gets. You know obscurity games.
That's right. Give me Ibanez for 100+ runs and playing left field in a game.
Raul
Did he ever get
Ibanez.
100? Ever score 100 runs? He did. Okay. Braves 100+ run season. Give me Rafael Furcal.
Okay.
Giants and Braves, give me, oh my gosh, what? There's like an obvious one. Oh, I could have done Tim Hudson for that one too. Giants and Braves, give me, oh my gosh, why am I, Klesko would have worked there too. Gosh.
I got one, but I ain't gonna tell you.
All right, let me get this one at least for the final one. Giants and Braves. Oh, Russ Ortiz.
I was thinking of him too. I also thought it was Kenny Lofton.
Do I have time for? Do I have one more? Or are we good?
Maybe one more.
Okay. Pirates 100+ run season. Roberto Clemente.
Roberto Clemente. Rest in peace. Okay. Oh yeah, you had time for one more. And 147. And we are back from the break, and Freddie Freeman's up to the plate. And that is a swing and a miss and a strike 1. And then I'm going to have my chance. As we're at 0-1. And now here is the pitch. And that is a ball. And I didn't want to say it for a long time, but my video that I repurposed from my live show that turned it into Mariners win the AL West actually rivaled with what some of your videos.
Nice.
what I
Let's
mean.
go. Let's go,
People
man.
saw
Well
it.
deserved.
And now
Well
the
deserved.
1-1. I think it was my tears that did it. And the pitch. Low for a ball. Yeah, probably the easiest 2K video I've ever made in my life.
Good
just
for
had
you,
to
man. Well
cut.
deserved.
Cut.
Hey,
There you go.
still to put in the work for it though, so you earned it.
2-1. And that is going to be inside for a ball 3-1, which I am excited for the opportunities for the playoffs. And it's not only just for the numbers, and that should be the back burner part of it, but it's also the opportunity to possibly get reached out to more Mariners fans and even just baseball fans in general. And that's going to be ball 4, take your base. And not only do I plan to do Mariners games, but also playoff games that are still on the weekend.
Are you going to be able to do game 1?
Game one is in question. It depends on the weather. So if my softball game gets canceled, then yes, absolutely. And I actually do hope it rains because I also need more time to find 2 more players because one of them crapped out for obvious reasons. I'll let you guess what that was. The pitch and the foul ball. He scored Mariners tickets for game 1. So
Can't be too mad at that.
no, I told him he was like, hey, what do you think? I was like, just go. It's a once in an every 20-year experience, it feels like.
Right. Literally.
I think if the Mariners were as consistent as like the Dodgers or like the Yankees, he probably would have went to the tournament. But because the Mariners' playoff appearances is so obscure, it's like you have to. Or even if it was like, I think if it was even like between 2000 and then like 2001 or like 95 or like maybe 97, maybe he would have like done the same thing and like go to my tournament. The pitch low for a ball because at those times when the Mariners were contending, it was expected for them to be consistent contenders. Right. After 95, they were expected to be contenders every year. After 2000, they were expected to be contenders. And the Mariners did have some good baseball teams after 2001. It was 02 and 03. It's just that they ran into bad
93 games.
History. They did, and the pitch. And had there been an expanded wild card playoff, I think they would have made it on both of them.
Yep. Yeah, they would have.
But in actuality, the Mariners' inactivity at the deadline when things were just completely wrong, like the lack of bats was what hurting the team because he had an aging Brett Boone still trying to inch out 30 home runs. Edgar Martinez was on his last legs. Dan Wilson was not the player that he was in the 90s. I mean, understandably, because age got to all those players. And then Olerud finally he took a dive. And the 2-2. And now here's a ground ball. Could be double play ball. Throw to second and throw to first in time for the double play. And must I say, this game is really breezing along. I mean, it kind of helps when no one's hitting.
No, they just want to go home. And then ESPN had an article today talking about the effect on the Seahawks games. Definitely next Sunday, the Seahawks game may have to be pushed back from 1 p.m. to like 3 p.m. or something, they were saying. And then the Monday Night Football game against the Texans may have to be pushed back.
All I can say is I am glad I'm not going to any of those games because I'd rather take a chance to get paid to watch Mariners games. As we're at 2 outs for Michael Conforto. I mean, the light rail is going to be an absolute mess. People are probably going to be sitting on top of each other. I think people might actually make some friends with each other. Now the pitch, and that's going to be up high for a ball. And that's going to be 1-1. I mean, this game is so lax when reporters are catching up with Teoscar Hernandez. That's what I'm seeing right now. Now we're at 1-1. And now here is the pitch. And now here's going to be a fly ball popped up to shortstop. And Leo Rivas is there and he makes the catch. And that's going to retire the side. And now it is my turn to try to get this victory on the game of my life. And I'm already behind. Okay, here we go. Phillies and the Mariners. Oh, you're going to like this one. Terry Mulholland, 1996.
Wow, that's a great
Trade-
pull.
Trade deadline. I'm too lazy, but I'm just going to do Scott Rowland. He's probably going to be like 50%, 32%. Seattle and Baltimore. Ooh. Oh, I like this one. Rich Amaral.
Another great pull.
And Seattle and Arizona. Ooh. I wish I could say Bob Melvin. Seattle and Arizona. What could it be? I'll wait. Okay, Cardinals and Baltimore. That's a weird one. Cardinals and maybe Steve Finley? Nope.
Oh,
Nope. Okay, I'm definitely in trouble with this one. Oh, Armando Benitez. Phillies and Mets. Oh, maybe Lily Bloomquist? Oh,
great call.
okay. Mets and Diamondbacks. That's like a really rare one. Mets and Phillies. I think it's almost time, but
Go ahead, finish it up. You're good.
the problem is I just don't know the name, so forget it. 437. It was really carried by former Mariners, Rich Amaral. Two of them were utility players.
I think Tyler O'Neill, that's the only I could think of for Orioles and Cardinals. Mets Phillies is a tough one.
That was. Now here is good vibes only, the pitch. And check swing. Oh, yeah, he definitely went for it. That is a strike. He's trying to get that 50 home run.
Did Jamie Moyer pitch for the Mets ever? That was the only thing I could think of.
No, I don't think he did. He was like a Cubs, Red Sox, obviously Mariners and the Phillies, and now the pitch outside for a ball. But Terry Mulholland was even more obscure. I mean,
that was a great pull.
No average Mariner fan is going to ever remember Terry Mulholland. It takes nerds like me to remember Terry Mulholland.
I didn't even know he pitched for the Mariners. I would have done Carlos Ruiz, the catcher. That's who I was thinking of.
The fun fact about that was he was one of the acquisitions in the 96 trade deadline along with Jamie Moyer. Of course, Terry Mulholland's going to be the less remembered, but there was a chance to get Curt Schilling, but they didn't want to take on his contract. So that's why they didn't go for Curt Schilling, but he would have made more sense because he was a right-hander and the Mariners were being overloaded with lefties because you would have had Jamie Moyer, Terry Mulholland as Eugenio Suarez struck out. Good vibes only. More like bad vibes only on that one. And Sterling Hitchcock. And then your other righty was like Bob Wolcott and some guy. What was his name? Matt Wagner.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Matt Wagner was supposed to be a pitcher of the future, and then his arm just betrayed him, and then he became packaged for Jeff Fassero. Now the pitch, and that is a strike. Dom Canzone's up to the plate, and how about Dom Canzone? He's came a very long way. Like he showed some flashes in 23, then in 24 he just flat out disappointed, and then 25 he had a couple at bats, and it didn't look like he was going to go anywhere. And then it was that Arizona series where he really stepped up and hit that 2-run homer in extra innings, and you were there. And now the pitch outside for a ball, and ironically, that was when Josh Naylor hit the walk-off home run, and even more ironically, he's on the Mariners. And I think that may have been the game where they're like, hey, you kicked our butt. Go kick some butt for us.
Right. And took a win away.
Yeah, I mean, we were making the joke like, hey, what if the Mariners missed the playoffs by one game? And we're all going to say, it's all because of Josh Naylor.
Right.
And now we're at 3-2. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be ball 4, take your base. And Dom Canzone gets on base with a walk. And yeah, Dom Canzone, he may have good opportunities to contribute for the playoffs, but deep down, I think we know that Victor Robles is probably going to take most of those at bats for the playoffs, as he seems to be the more playoff tested guy. Because he was a part of the 2019 World Series team. Correct me if I'm wrong. And now the
You're
pitch, and that's going to be low for a ball. Always doesn't hurt to check, as Luke Raley's up to the plate, and that is 1-0. And last year, he was actually considered one of the big acquisitions for the Mariners. He actually played pretty well last year. This year, not so much. And now the pitch, way outside for a ball. But it only turned out to realize that Luke Raley is more of a glorified platoon player, unfortunately. Hate to say it, but the numbers just don't lie. Looking at Victor Robles, he was part of the 2019 team. He had a very regular role. And that's when he was like supposed to be the rising star. And now the pitch, and that's a strike. I mean, he had some years with the Washington Nationals, but injuries was literally just killing his career.
He was a higher rated prospect than Juan Soto for a while.
That's crazy to think about. And he was a huge part of that 2019 World Series run. Now here's a fly ball to right field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. And Dom Canzone should be going to third base. He will. And Luke Raley gets into second base with a double. And now we got runners on second and third. No double play opportunity for the Dodgers. And now the question, who is up next? I think it's going to be Leo Rivas.
Good to see Luke Raley check in, get, like you were saying earlier, get something going before the playoffs, and against a lefty too. So Dom and Luke against lefties, walking a double. Good to see.
It is really good to see any of these players contribute, at least for the last two games. It may not amount to much, but you still want to stay warm. Got to stick that landing. Like, don't have a playoff senioritis kind of mentality. And now the pitch. That's going to be up high for a ball. But for some reason yesterday, I just wasn't fazed about it at all. I was like, eh. It was kind of like, eh. But the only thing I hated was I just didn't like that Suarez struck out with bases loaded. That part I was not happy with.
I guess better than extra innings, though. I will say that.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, just swinging for the downs.
Maybe he was like, screw it. As we're at 1-1, camera showing Dan Wilson the pitch, and a swing and a miss, and that's going to be strike two. And you would think, with the type of run that the Mariners have had, that pretty much does put in Dan Wilson as one of the favorites for manager of the year. Depending on which other managers do get nominated, I'm still in the reservations on who I objectively think should be manager of the year, as we're at 1-2.
Yeah, I think it'll be Vogt or Dan. I think that's the only two that I could see winning it.
Stephen Vogt. Yeah, and I guess it's going to be a matter of who was more exciting in September, the pitch. And that's going to be up high for a ball. Except I do naturally think that Stephen Vogt is the better manager. I just do. But the crazy thing is he was literally in our organization in 23. And just to think the Mariners could have just hired him in hindsight. And now the pitch, low for a ball, 3-2. Would have been interesting to see a Stephen Vogt run Mariners team. I mean, he did manage one of the best bullpens in baseball. If not, they were the best bullpen in baseball, with Matt Brash, Paul Sewald before he got traded, and Andres Munoz, who was on the rise. And now the 3-2 pitch. Now it's going to be fouled back, and good to see Leo Rivas. He is fighting, and like this guy, he fights with the heart. He's basically been doing what Dylan Moore couldn't do, and I hate to say it.
Yeah, he's really good at bats.
Like, even if he strikes out, at least he didn't go down in vain. And now the 3-2. And that's going to be popped up. And that is going to go to Freddie Freeman. And he makes the catch. And that is going to be 2 outs. Next up to the bat's going to be Harry Ford. And this is going to be a huge opportunity for Harry Ford to do some damage for the Mariners. And you would think, though, that Harry Ford, he's probably not going to make it he's probably not going to make the 26. I don't think he's going to. I mean, there's not really room for him to do it.
Exactly. What would he do on the team? You're better off with Samad Taylor or Miles Mastroboni, or, I mean, you can only have 26, so 2 people got to go down anyways.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to I don't think I'll get him any of them. And now the pitch. I did want Mastroboni. When it got to the point when they were just not using Harry Ford at all, I was like, yeah, just let Mastroboni just play once in a while. Because, I mean, sure, he didn't really hit the lights out, but he was still quite useful to pitch. And that is a strike. I mean, he was a hustler at least. I mean, you couldn't take that away from him.
Exactly.
Gonna look up Miles Mastroboni's numbers. In 75 games, he was a 248 hitter, but he had a 323 on base percentage, and that's a strike, and that's going to be 1 and 2. He had 6 stolen bases. His strikeout to walk splits were pretty decent. Like, it was 17 walks to 28 strikeouts, so that wasn't bad. And now here is the 1 and 2. And a swing and a miss at the dirt for strike 3. That's where he got killed by the curveball. That's going to retire the side. And give me just a few seconds. I got some more pieces of nostalgia to show you. Ooh, that swing and a miss is awful.
Go for it.
All right. I'm sure that you and other Mariners geeks remember these when we were growing up. Only 90s kids would know about this. But how about that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, you just know that cover, right? Like, if you were in the Seattle area, that's just like a VHS. What do they call that? Core memory unlocked when you see that.
Yeah, my best friend actually just let me have it because why did he care about VHS? I was like, I'll take it.
Right?
Oh, this one was
Absolutely.
like, this was one of the reasons why I really got into the Mariners more than I already was. But I was watching it. I watched it one time in 96 with my dad, and I remember at the credits, I accidentally knocked down my dad's lamp. Oh, he was not happy. Like, it just went from watching a whole thing of Mariners, and then right at credits, I knocked down the lamp. Like,
Oh,
not good.
but you know what? It's all part of the childhood experience. Oh, yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta love
Absolutely.
these guys. Yep.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like this is like the only VHS I have ever seen where the Mariners are like, we didn't make the playoffs, but check out our bats. We had
Right.
Alex Rodriguez, Ken Griffey Jr., Edgar Martinez, Joey Cora, Paul Sorrento. Like, they're saying 5 All-Stars, most grand salamis in Major League history, most back-to-back dingers in Major League history, most extra base hits in Major League history. Oh, that team should have made the playoffs.
It was incredible. I mean, the offense was just insane. I mean, yeah, no, they should have. It was just incredible.
But their pitching was just insane, just as insanely bad.
Yep.
And then, of course, we can't forget about this.
Oh, yeah. Is that a DVD?
No,
Is
it's
that a
actually
DVD?
VHS, but it's still sealed.
VHS. Oh, wow.
I think my dad got this, but he purposefully didn't open it just to keep it as a collector's edition. And I am
Right.
never ripping the plastic.
No,
No way,
don't.
Jose.
Yeah, don't do it now.
Nope. I had the DVD though. That one I definitely opened.
Okay.
That one I got
Yeah.
for Christmas of 2001, and I definitely put that on repeat. As much as you gotta love these guys.
Wore out that DVD a little bit.
Yeah, and now you gotta love not. And those 3 VHS tapes have been partially responsible for any of my YouTube videos I made. I definitely used their clips.
Absolutely. Core
And
memory
now
unlocked watching those.
Yeah, definitely. And now here is the pitch. Like, I remember when I was watching it in 2000, it said Dan Wilson hit 18 home runs. I was like, he was a home run hitter back then when I was just 4. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then I got to know names of like Rich Amaral, Bob Wells, Sterling Hitchcock, Joey Cora, Rafael Carmona, like all these obscure Mariners that you would never know about. Hard hitting Mark Whitten. And now the 0-1 pitch. And low for a ball. I mean, given how my appearance, like most people think I was born in 2000. So when I say stuff like, oh yeah, back in these days, and they're like, how do you know this? You don't even look that old. I'm like, you'd be surprised.
I was there.
As we're at 1-1. And now here is the pitch. And that is a strike, and that is going to be 1-2 on Miguel Rojas. I even remember seeing a VHS. It was the Mariners like 20th anniversary videotape where they were going over stuff in like the 80s and the 90s. It was like up to 1997. Oh, did you see Julio Cal, Brian Wu with Blake Snell at the Huskies game? I sure did. Wow, Blake Snell was there. I guess he was given permission to leave because the Giants are out of playoff contention.
Well, he's on the Dodgers, so he was in.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. And now here's going to be a liner, and that's going to be a base hit. Oh, no, it gets right through Dom Canzone. You can't let that happen. And now we're going into second base. You definitely can't do that in the playoffs.
Right.
I mean, it's one thing to say, like, oh, yeah, you have a playoff spot. Just relax. But don't be that relaxed. Don't go that far.
Well, and the best thing you can say there is get it out of your system. But yeah, if that happens in the playoffs, that's a killer.
That's a killer. I think that play explains well why Victor Robles is going to get the start.
Yeah.
Canzone's defense is very streaky at best, but he'll make good catches when he has to. Like, I think he has more of a range coverage guy, but when it comes to like stuff on the ground, he's like, eh.
He'll DH, I think, more in the playoffs.
Yeah, he seems more of a DH kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see that because who else is going to DH? You're not going to have Mitch Garver DH regularly for playoffs unless we have 2023 Mitch Garver, but the chances of that's pretty low.
Polanco will play second.
Who did Mariners draft over Blake Snell? Interesting. I don't know.
I don't remember. Where did Snell start? Tampa.
He did start in Tampa. Well, let's find out. I mean, Mariners had a chance to get Tim Lincecum, but they went with Brandon Morrow.
Tomorrow.
And he was supposed to be another hot shot prospect. And now the 1-1. And that is a strike. That's going to be 1-2 for Kiki Hernandez. Oh, it was 2011 draft. You can say that it was. Ooh.
What was 2011?
That was Danny Hultzen. Yeah.
Tough one.
That was brutal. But don't get me wrong, Danny Hultzen was supposed to be a great prospect. He had the tools.
Right.
It just didn't work.
That's the thing. It's hard to like Morrow Lincecum, you can go back and go, no, that was just bad. Lincecum was clearly the better player. Maybe Hultzen would have been better if he was healthy. That one you can at least, but obviously be better off with.
Logan Gilbert got the strikeout. Oh, there was a Dante Bichette Jr. And Bo Bichette became the better guy.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Wow. Had no idea. But yeah, he didn't really amount to really much, unfortunately. And now we've got Dalton Rushing up to the plate. So who did the Mariners draft over Blake Snell in the supplemental first round, they call it? So basically they drafted Danny Hultzen, but how were we all everyone's supposed to know that Blake Snell was going to be like that, especially for a 52nd overall pick. And then they didn't even have any draft picks after that. So can't really fault the Mariners. I mean, you can't really fault anything, but it is brutal to see that the Mariners drafted. In hindsight, it is brutal to see that Mariners drafted Danny Hultzen one spot over Trevor Bauer. Anthony Rendon at least could have gotten his prime years, I guess. Francisco Lindor, Javier Baez, George Springer, Jose Fernandez. So, yeah, 2011. Oh, and here's a fly ball drilled to right field. Forget about that one. That is now a 2-0 lead on a 2-run home run by Dalton Rushing, and that is his fourth home run of the season. And already, just at a blink of an eye, Dodgers now have a 2-0 lead, and that home run just got out of there in a hurry.
Yeah. That's probably going to be, well, Logan's at 70. He'll definitely be done after 5. Logan Evans was warming up in the bullpen. So disappointing because Logan close to 5 shut innings, but that splitter just a cement mixer over the middle of the plate there.
Yeah, just hung right in there. And of course, got a lot of Dodger fans there. So of course they're cheering. And Logan Gilbert is like, no, what? Really? He has that kind of reaction. And it's easy to laugh at it now because they locked up everything. But at the same time, you still don't want to just completely just lay an egg on the Dodgers, especially against their B team.
Yeah, I'd
And the
like to get a
Mariners,
W here, but I think by next Saturday we'll have forgotten about it.
yeah, but there are some Mariners extreme fans are like, but we cannot break this momentum. I will remember this game if we lose in the ALDS.
Right.
Now here's Freddie Freeman. No, that's Tommy Edman. That's going to be a swing and a miss. It feels like they have similar batting stance, and you can see the 5 on the side of the camera. So that's why I kind of get mixed up. And it's going to be 0-2. That's a crazy thing. Mariners had 2 outs on this. And the pitch, low for a ball. Yeah, these scrubs are beating us. I'm surprised Snell never took a hometown discount when he lives in Linwood in the offseason. I know, right? But I think even the Mariners claimed that they couldn't afford a hometown discount on Blake Snell. And we remember that in 23-24 offseason, Blake Snell was begging the Mariners to sign him. He even said at the UW game, come get me. There's a freaking pizza place that has a pizza based on Blake Snell in Shoreline. And I actually went there to have it. It was actually pretty good.
Is it good?
I think so, yeah. It's 2-2. It's always those small pizza places you want to eat at. And now the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And you would assume that is going to be Logan Gilbert's final inning. I mean, you can't take it away from him. He still pitched very well. It's just, is that one little splitter it just got away from him real badly, too.
Yeah, that's last time we'll see Logan before the postseason. So that's his getting ready to go. And it'll be nice to see the Mariners win the ball game here. Hopefully can get a couple runs. This will be my last half inning here, bottom of the 5th. Are you bringing him in? Is he coming? You know
He's
what
not
I'm
even
talking
chatting.
about.
He's not chatting. He's not in there. He doesn't have an Instagram or a Twitter or any socials, so it's like the luck of the draw, but it's okay.
Gotcha.
I mean, sometimes you want it solo because not going to put names, but I've had people where I'm like, bro, I'm doing a play-by-play. Okay, just wrap it up. Come on. I even had some people commenting. They're like, this guy's annoying. I'm like, okay, let's not go that far. But yes, there's moments where it's like, there's a play going on. I gotta call it.
Right. You're like, grab ball base hit.
Yeah, it drives me nuts. But so you come into are you coming to the playoffs? I doubt it.
Maybe.
You're thinking about it.
So me and my wife talked about maybe like, I don't know if we'd go to a game, but maybe just being in Seattle during something, would be fun to do that. There's a chance. Let's just put it that way. There is a chance. If you're a betting man, don't put the money on it. Not that anybody would have that on their odds anywhere, but we'll just say there's a chance, right? Lloyd Christmas.
Well, if you do, we're going places. We're going to eat somewhere.
I'm down.
Somewhere. Who knows? Don't know a place yet. Also, I got to talk to that pizza guy to see if I can get him to do a sale for Mariners playoff games of like, maybe he won't do 50% off. Maybe he'll do like 35 maybe. And plus, I mean, I think it's a good idea. And we got back from the break. That's going to be a strike. I mean, and plus, like, I still don't have a big enough audience to like, and like when if it does happen, they'll be like, it would be a huge thing because, hey, I'm just got this YouTube channel. Oh, and Randy Arozarena goes to first base, or is that a foul ball? Nope, he gets to first base.
Randy is perfecting that hit. That's his 3rd one this series. I'll bring up Cal.
Let's just do that for the playoffs. Just do that. That's how you get on base. That's a leadoff role you could do.
Hey,
but
in the playoffs, I don't care what they look like. Just get it done.
They are going to have to, I would say for the playoffs, they're going to have to start to adjust to a more small ball because of the pitchers that they're going to be dealing with. I mean, we've seen it. And back to that Sahara thing I was talking about. And by the way, Cal Raleigh's up to the plate. Now the pitch, yep, he's really trying for it. It hit the dirt and he's still swinging at it. No, but it would be funny to see the pizza guys. They're going to be like, they'll see a customer going, hey, rooftop, there's this rooftop YouTube channel that's like get 35% off. Can you honor that? And it'll be like, that'd be really cool.
Absolutely. Or does he have a restaurant you could do like a stream from during the game? Or is it not that type?
I actually tried that before when I was streaming for my fantasy football video, my live streaming for that, and the quality was not that good. Maybe because I just use my phone but there's not really a space to do it from. But I have explored that idea. I mean, maybe it could be a future thing where if my channel gets bigger and I can actually draw people in, and it'd be like Meet Rooftop Sports while he's doing the play-by-play. But that is an idea of the future.
Yeah, because I found a Seahawks bar in Arizona, so I'm thinking of maybe doing something with that.
Oh, I'll take me to that. I'll go.
Absolutely, it was fun.
As we're at 3-1 for the big dumper Cal Raleigh. He's batting on his right-handed side. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. We really want to see Cal Raleigh hit any kind of home runs, but maybe it is best that he just stays at 60, because if you put him at 61, then he's going to feel the pressure for 62. And if he gets to 62, he's going to feel the pressure for 63. So maybe just go small ball, but he really wants that. And plus he wants a home run to tie the game too. So there's also that.
Right.
Most home runs by a catcher and switch hitter. Feels great that he was able to beat a Yankee record that couldn't be beaten for over 50 years. Think about that. I think it's getting close to 60 because I think it happened in the 50s.
Yeah.
Now we're at 3-2. And now here is the pitch. And he got under it. That's going to be popped up going into second base. And that's going to drop.
Oh, because they're going to.
That's how much that and Freddie Freeman just gave him a tap on the butt. He was like, nice hit. You beat the crap out of that one.
I was like, what are they doing? I'm like, oh, they're getting Randy off the base paths. I mean, does it matter in this moment for the Dodgers?
I think in the playoffs they wouldn't have done that. I think they would have just tried to catch
too
it,
risky.
But
too
kind
risky.
of like, because it could bounce in the wrong direction. Now here is El Rando, not El Rando. This is Julio, and that's
who is El Rando?
Well, I got mixed up with the Rosarena. The El Rando Grando.
Oh, okay. I was like, who's El Rando?
Hey, it was Randy Johnson's nickname in the 94.
Oh, was it? Okay.
When he was throwing knives. And now here's the 0-1. Now here's going to be a ground ball. That's going to be a base hit. And maybe Cal Raleigh is going to go to third base. And nope, he stays at second.
I know, I was looking to see where he was.
Now we got Julio. I mean, the Mariners they're still hitting the ball. It's just they just can't score. See, that's the concern I'm going to have going into the playoffs is if they're going to rely on the live and die by the home run, I would be very concerned.
Yeah, definitely going to be some pitchers will be tough against. I mean, there's certainly, our best versus their best. You hope we come through. But we'll see. I mean, the good news is they've had success against a lot. Well, maybe not. New York, Toronto, not really. They didn't have a lot of success against those
Toronto,
teams,
they laid an egg, and Yankees,
yeah.
they just can't win there.
Yeah.
The pitch. And that definitely they had that embarrassing series in Seattle too. Because I remember doing the Star Wars night, that Star Wars special, and they got absolutely embarrassed. Like I remember that. As we're at 0-1. And now the pitch. Low for a ball.
I will say this against the Yankees this year. They played them 6 times, they went 1-5. 3 of them were blowouts. They did have 2 close losses where they had leads late. So maybe, you know what I mean? Like maybe that's something to kind of hold on to.
And now the pitch. Well, here's an ironic twisting. In 2001, the Mariners and the Yankees, like the Mariners were like, you're my you-know-what. And then the playoffs, the roles were reversed. Like the Mariners dominated the Yankees for the most part in 2001. And then what happened in the playoffs?
Yep.
And by the way, a random quiz question. Who was the last Mariner to drive in runs at home in the playoffs?
Great question. Okay, so it would have been game 2 against the Yankees.
Yep.
Which they lost. Did they score in game 2, though?
They did.
All right, let me finish this Polanco at bat, and I'll take a crack at it.
Now the 2-2 pitch. Now here's going to be a ground ball foul. Got Jack Drever in the bullpen.
Was it Boone? Was
Nope.
it Boone?
Boone didn't do anything until New York, until they got to New
Okay,
York
yeah, I know you had a home run in there.
twice.
Um,
And now we're at the
Ian?
2-2. Nope, the pitch. Now here's a fly ball to deep left field, and that is gone. That's a 3-run home run for Jorge Polanco. Mariners take the lead, and that is Jorge Polanco's 26th home run of the season. And what a season he has been having. Mariners are at 3, Dodgers 2, and it seemed that this game was just going to run away from them. But Jorge Polanco says otherwise with a 3-run home run. Logan Gilbert is clapping. And what a way to get back into this game.
All of a sudden, the Mariners in position to win it. I'm not going to lie, like, not going to lose sleep over it, but I wouldn't mind getting at least one W in this series. Then I'm out of guesses for 0-1. Bell? Was David Bell still on that team? Was that Russ Davis?
He was on
that
that
point?
team. No, Russ Davis was
David-
gone after 99.
I
And
always
now
get
it's
them
a fly ball
confused when
foul.
their errors were. I'll say Bell.
It was Stan Javier with a 2-run home run.
Okay.
Out of
That's right,
all
he did.
players, it was Stan
Stan
Javier.
That is a trivia question. Think about how, I mean, that sums it up. The last player to drive in a run in a home playoff game for the Mariners is Stan Javier.
And it was like obviously it was like an out of nowhere kind of home run. It was like, whoa,
Mhm.
that just happened. And now the pitch. And they were down 3-0.
Yeah.
And that's when Garcia, he pitched very well as much as he could. It's just offense just did nothing.
Yeah.
And the other statistic that I think Lou Piniella should have paid attention to, the pitch, was that's a foul ball. He should have realized that Aaron Seeley was not a playoff pitcher. He should have been put in the bullpen.
He struggled against Cleveland too, didn't he? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was a 17-2 game. As
Yeah.
we're at 1-2 now. The pitch, and that's going to be a fly ball to right field, and that is going to be caught, and that is going to be 2 outs. So yeah, it was like even before he pitched for the Mariners in the playoffs, he was historically a bad playoff pitcher. I think there's a reason why Texas got rid of him. Now, great regular season guy. Like the Angels didn't even use him for 2002 because they knew.
I was just going to ask, how do you do for the Angels in 2002? I don't remember, but
They didn't even use
obviously,
him.
yeah, it was Lackey, Washburn, somebody else. That was the K-Rod breakout.
Washburn had that really random kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jared Washburn was random. And I think that's the reason why Bill Bavasi signs like, oh yeah, you did well in 2002. Let's sign him for a 4-year contract.
Washburn was actually okay when he was in Seattle. Like he was fine. Wasn't great, but he wasn't bad.
Like if he had other elite pitchers.
Yeah,
he
would have been.
Yeah, he could have
exactly.
Now the pitch. I mean, if you notice in 2009 when he finally had a prime Felix to work with, and who else was there in 2009? At least the starting pitching was better, so that made Washburn better. But then they traded him for nothing.
Yeah. Well, he was at the end of his contract, so he was terrible in Detroit.
Yeah, but maybe they should have. I don't know. There's a part of me that's like they should have made some kind of a run to let Griffey have one more run at the playoffs, but I guess they were all just thinking of this was basically a glorified retirement tour for him.
And I think they were out of it. They were good, but with the only one wild card, I think they were pretty far back. I don't remember though.
I think they were. Well, let's find out. Like, good thing that's what the internet is for.
There you go.
2009 MLB standings. So let's go to like July 31st to see where they were at. But they were definitely out of the division. Oh, and that is going to be out. And before you go, let's just find out what it was. 2009. Going to the calendar. It was, let's say, deadline was 29th. Well, usually it's on a Tuesday.
It's on 31st. It's always 31st.
All right, 31st.
But 29th wouldn't work. But they might have traded Washburn before then. I don't remember.
Mariners were 7.5 back from the division from the Angels. And for the wild card, they were 10. No, they're not 10 games back. No, they were 10 games. No, wait. No, hold on. Okay, here it is. July 31st, 2009. Mariners were 7.5 back, so that's why they kind of just went whatever. Makes
I
sense.
can't blame them there. Yeah. All right, man. Finish up the game, bring home a W, and we will talk next week to preview some playoff baseball.
Preview for playoff baseball, and thank you for being part of my 70 streaming journey.
My pleasure, my honor. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Go Mariners.
Go out.
And thank you, Jay Trident Podcast, for being on the show. As we're still on commercial break, and I will finally be going to the bathroom after this half of the inning. They're showing Jorge Polanco's home run. 26 home runs on the season. And we are back from the break. And Mookie Betts is the batter as he is taking a ball. And now we got a new pitcher. This is going to be Logan Evans. That's going to be a play to third base. And Eugenio Suarez is getting them out. And now here's Freddie Freeman up to the plate. And now here is the pitch. Now here's a fly ball to deep left field, and that is gone. That's a 3-run home run for Jorge Polanco. And now we're at 1-0. And now here's the pitch. Now here's going to be a ground ball going to first base as Luke Raley tossed over to first in time. And that is 2 quick outs. Now we got Andy Pages up to the plate. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball and fouled. And when I say Mariners live and die by the home run, they really do live and die by the home run. Because now we're at 0-1. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball and fouled. And after this inning, after this half of the inning, I'm certainly going to the bathroom. Because now we're at 0-2. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Now we're at 0-2. And now the pitch. And that's going to be up high for a ball. That's going to be 1-2. So the games that I had the most consistent streak was 6 in a row. It was between the Tigers games, Astros, and a Brewers game. The pitch, outside for a ball, that is going to be 2-2. Got Pages. And now the 2-2 pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball again. It's going to still be 2-2. It's good to see Logan Evans back on the mound. Maybe he can be a contributor for the Mariners in the playoff run, as the Mariners definitely need more depth in the bullpen, which they will get out of the likes of Bryce Miller, Logan Evans. And now the 2-2. Now here's going to be a ground ball right to Luke Raley again. Throw to first. Toss over to first. That's going to be in time to get him out. And that was a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's time for me to go to the bathroom. Senor, tell me how you make a thin crust Sahara pizza.
With your hands. Cornmeal.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
And that's how you make a Sahara pizza. Beautiful thin crust.
And I am back. We're at the bottom of the 6th inning. Let's hope that the Mariners can hold on to this. Let's see if the Mariners have making any changes in the lineup. Nope, they are keeping as is. I mean, Josh Naylor is out, so that means Luke Raley is getting more at-bats. And we are back from the break. They're talking about postseason tickets. And if you haven't gotten your postseason tickets, use my promo code Rooftop Sports to get your $20 off the purchase. Save yourself $20 to get some Chinese food in Chinatown. Now here's Jack Dreyer. Now the pitch. And that is going to be low for a ball for Luke Raley. I just realized I don't even need these headphones anymore because I'm not even talking to anyone. Now we're at 1-0 for Luke Raley, who is 1 for 2 with a double. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball to left center field. And the center fielder is going to make the catch, and that is going to be 1 out. Next up to the bat is going to be Leo Rivas. Then it'll be followed by Harry Ford. And depending how the Mariners do, Cal Raleigh might get as much as 2 chances for the shot for number 61. And that's going to be up high for a ball. The catcher tried the frame job, but the umpire was not buying it. As now we're at 1-0. Leo Rivas is 1 for 2 with a single. Now the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike, 1-1. Now we're at 1-1, and now the pitch. And that is going to be a strike again. And that's going to be 1-2. We're at 3-2, or 1-2 for Rivas, who is he has been a huge contributor for the Mariners in the month of September. And now the 1-2 pitch, up high for a ball. That's going to be 2-2. And now the pitch. It's going to be a foul ball, and that's going to be 3-2. 2-2, excuse me. I'm been off my game, am I? We're now at 3-2 for Leo Rivas. And that is going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Rivas, and that's going to be 2 outs. And it's going to be up to Harry Ford to see if he can extend this inning. Now here is Harry Ford up to the plate. And now the pitch. That's going to be a ground ball and fouled. As we're at 0-1. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss at the dirt for strike 2. Flick of the switch. Can Cal get one tonight? Will Suarez get one? I don't know. The 0-2. And that's going to be a foul ball. I doubt it. I think Cal Raleigh might be accepting to just settle for 60, but I don't know. 60 might just be it. It's really gotten to him, I think. So we're at 0-2 for Dumper. And now the pitch. Low for a ball, and that is going to be 1-2. If Gino hit, where would he make MLB history, though? It's his own personal history, getting 50. And the 1-2 pitch, way outside for a ball. That's going to be 2-2 on to Harry Ford. Harry Ford is 1 for 2. He's batting .250. And now the 2-2 pitch. That's going to be a foul ball. Turkism, how's it going? Thanks for being here. Still at 2-2. Harry Ford is fighting it. Before we go into the top of the 7th inning. And that's going to be outside for 3-2. And now here's going to be a fly ball to deep right center field, and that still might be going and caught by the outfielder. And that's going to retire the side. We go to the top of the 7th inning. It is still 3-2 Mariners.
We're making half pineapple, half tiki tiki with barbecue chicken. You put the garlic. Put the pineapple on the whole pizza. Remember, they want half pineapple, and the one is going to be tiki tiki. Tiki tiki goes pineapple, garlic, feta cheese, artichoke hearts, and the chicken. And we're going to spread some barbecue on top. And it's ready.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May. The toast is here. Oh, looks like we got some chatters over here. If Gino hit 50, that will be the first time that 5 players hit 50 more home runs in MLB history. He'll become the 5th player in history to have 5 home runs with 50. Wow. And we are back from the break. I was MLB prospect until I took an arrow to the knee. Oh, aren't you? That would have been cool to see Harry getting his dinger. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Logan Evans is still pitching. What? You don't want me to sing the Louie Louie? Well, I'm going to sing Louie Louie in the 7th inning, and I double down on it. Now it's going to be a foul ball. It's going to be strike 2. We're at 0-2 for Michael Conforto. And now the 0-2 pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball to left field. Randy Arozarena is just going to drop in, let it drop for a base hit. And now we got runners on first base. And I get it. You're kind of on senioritis for the playoffs, but you still want to get the win. Get to 91. But Randy, I think, could have caught that. But maybe he lost his tracks on that. Makes me want to wear a helmet instead. Now here's Alex Call up to the plate. Now the pitch, way outside for a ball. Looks like I'm getting more people onto this channel. Hit the like button, subscribe, smash that like button, subscribe, and donate by the YouTube super chats. And now the pitch, and that's going to be a bunting effort. That's going to be a fly ball, and that's going to be, Harry Ford nearly caught it. He was so close to catching it. Should have caught that one. Now we're at 1-1. And now the pitch. Outside for a ball. And that's going to be 2-1. Now I'm getting 15 people onto here. And the pitch. And that's going to be a fly ball to right center field. And Julio is going to be there. And he makes the catch. And that is going to be 1 out. Now we got Miguel Rojas up to the plate. Now the pitch. And that's going to be a strike. Miguel Rojas is 1 for 2. Huskies played awesome today. What are you talking about? They just got beat up by the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now the pitch. Now it's going to be swing and a miss. It's going to be 0-2. Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure they're now, sooner or later, they're going to regret their move to the Big Ten. They should have stayed in the Pac-12. They should have stood their ground. As now we're at 0-2. And now the pitch. It's going to be a ground ball foul. Yeah, UW, not exactly a smart team for... Yeah, awesome for 1 quarter. Yeah. So we're at 1-2. They should have just stayed in the Pac-10 and just 12 and just stood their ground. The 0-2. outside for a ball. That's going to be 1-2. No, from what I heard, they could have stopped the entire madness. They could have stopped it all. I know that it was USC and UCLA that perpetrated it, and they were the ringleaders. As we're at 1-2, the pitch. Low for a ball. They could have stopped the whole damn thing. But they're like, no, we had one little nice lucky run to the national championship. And then, yeah, we think we're better than everyone. So we're going to go to Big Ten and kick everyone's butt. As we're at 2-2 for Rojas. And now the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Looks like he did, and he goes down. That's going to be 2 outs. Okay, fine. Flick of the switch. What do you got? Tell me what you got about UW. And you're talking to a very bitter ex-Husky. Not even a Cougar either. Ducks did it clutch at Penn State. They played awesome somewhat. No, flick of the switch. Tell me, why shouldn't the UW be vilified for this? Shouldn't be vilified for this. I did. They destroyed the culture. They destroyed the tradition of the Apple Cup. They did it to themselves. And now they get to play against Michigan and Ohio State and get obliterated. Now the pitch. That's going to be a foul ball. Now, Huskies, they'll realize that they're going to want the Pac-12 eventually. But just tell me what do you got, flick of the switcho? Got Kiki Hernandez up to the plate as we're at 1-1. Now the pitch. Now here's going to be a fly ball to right field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. And now it's going to be runners on first and third, but there is 2 outs. But still, well, yeah, Apple Cup stinks now because the Cougars got screwed in this whole thing. And it's sad that they're basically a low-tier college team now because of all this disaster. Cougars did not deserve it. And if I could do it again, I would have went to Wazoo. I should have went to Wazoo, but I did meet 2 of my best friends from UW. So I can't really complain too much at all. And now here is the pitch. Now here it is. And that gets away, and that is going to score in the run, and the game is now tied at 3-3. Wild pitching by Logan Gilbert. Pac-12 president sold us out. I heard about that too. Yeah, let's look at the Pac-12 president. It was Teresa Gold, who was named commissioner on February 19th, 2024, succeeding George Klayoff. Now the 1-0. And now here's a liner and fouled. As we're at 1-1. And now here's the pitch. It's going to be outside for a ball, 2-1. It had something to do with the revenue that screwed us on. So we're at 2-1 for Rushing, who, by the way, hit the 2-run home run earlier in the game, and the pitch. And that is going to be a strike, 2-2. This ball game is tied at 3-3. Now we're at 2-2. Outside for a ball. That's going to be 3-2, the full count. Full count, 3-2. And now the pitch. Here's going to be a ground ball right to second base. Throw to first. That's going to be in time. And that's going to retire the side. And we will go into the 7th inning stretch. And it's time to take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, so let's root for the Mariners. If they don't win, it's a shame. It would be a shame because they had a 3-2 lead, and you don't want to go into the season losing the series against the Dodgers, do you? No. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Hello. Oh no, said we gotta go. Yeah. Hello. Oh, baby, said we gotta go. A fine little girl, she waiting for me. I catch a ship across the sea, and I'll ship that we never think home on me. Hello, way. No. We gotta go. Yeah, okay, I'm done. All right, I'm done. Oh man, you give me a 5 out of 10? Come on, man. How much better can I sing? Like, you want me to go, take me out to the ball like that? What do you want from me? Give me a 5 out of 10. That you just toasted me on that one. See what I did there? Yeah, see what I did there? But well, you gave me a heart. Sign language. You want me? I don't know sign language. You want me to do sign language? And we are back from the break, and we've got Blake Trinian. Can't even say his name, but he is going to be on the mound. And luckily, you guys are not talking, so I cannot hear you. And now the pitch, and that's going to be a foul ball. Yeah, going back to Hey Sean, how did you get those top fan? Did your Apple Crown is not showing up in the stream? Are you NSA or CIA? Yeah, Cougars had some good runs in the 90s. Ryan Leaf and Drew Bledsoe. And that's going to be low for a ball. It's too bad that Ryan Leaf couldn't work out, but unfortunately, he kind of did it to himself. Where, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. And the pitch. And that's going to be a check swing. He does go, and that's going to be a strike 2. Cal Raleigh will have an opportunity once again to hit a home run. Try to get to Roger Maris. As we're at 1-2 for Randy Arozarena. And now the pitch. That's going to be a ground ball foul. Arozarena is 2 for 3, 2 dribbling singles. We're at 2-2 now. Yeah, that was just missing it for a ball. Now we're at 2-2. Now the pitch. Now here's going to be a ground ball. That's going to get right through for a base hit. And now that is 3 for 4 is Randy Arozarena with a single. Very good for the El Rando Grando. And now it's going to be Cal Raleigh up to the plate. And what does Cal Raleigh have in him? He has 60 home runs this season. He's leading the major leagues. He's the only Mariner in history to hit 60 home runs for the Mariners. Only Mariner in Mariners history. But he's batting 0 for 3 right now. And the throw to first, not in time. You would think, but then there's going to be that Aaron Judge debate. Now here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and he really had that one. He was really going for that one, and that is going to be 0-1. He just missed it. That looked like that was a home run swing right there, a home run pitch too. As now we're at 0-1 for the dumper. Now the pitch. Swing and a miss again, and that's going to be strike 2. The dumper's just losing it. Mariners got to find a way to get a lead on that. And that was a nasty curveball. So we're at 0-2. Cal Raleigh's 0 for 3. And now the 0-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is going to be 2 outs. That's 1 out. Excuse me. Wow. Cal Raleigh he's struggling. He's just whiffing at everything. He's really feeling it. And now we've got next batter. It's going to be Julio Rodriguez. And we're at 0-1. And the pitch. And that is right in there for a strike. I think that was a good shot for Julio Rodriguez to try to hit a home run on that. Right now it's 0-2 on Julio. And now the 0-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is going to be 2 outs. Now here is Jorge Polanco up to the plate. And the throw to first. And that is not in time. And at this point, I think Randy Arozarena should have stole second, but he doesn't want to hurt himself. He just wants to wait till the playoffs. Now here is the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. In the 5th inning, he did hit a 2-run home run. We're at 0-1. And now the pitch. And he's going for the bunt and the throw to second, not in time. And Randy Arozarena gets in there for second base, stolen base. So Polanco now has a great opportunity because he is a fantastic hitter with runners in scoring position. He's got a man on second base. Scoring position with 2 outs, by the way. All right, bye. Flick of the switch. Have a good night. As we're at 1-1. Now we're at 1-1. And now the pitch. And that's going to be popped up and fouled. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is going to retire the side. And we go to the top of the 8th inning. It is now still 3-3.
Since 2022, I have been building the Rooftop Sports YouTube channel, and I want to thank all of you for your support and engagement. Without all of you, there is no Rooftop Sports. Now, if you would like to take your support to the next level, join my exclusive YouTube membership program for just $5 a month. Get first access to new videos, ad-free content, and exclusive insights from my fantasy sports, as I do play many fantasy sports leagues. Plus, follow along with my softball seasons like never before. You also get access to my own emojis to use to comment on my videos and my live streaming shows. For just $5 per month, become a bigger part of my community and get ready for unparalleled sports experience. Let's do this.
Oh, the Toast made me a donation. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now the magic number is 45. Seahawks to the Super Bowl, I still feel like that is a ways to go. And we are back from the break, and they're still giving Logan Evans a lot of work today. And now here is the pitch. And here's a fly ball, and that is a foul ball going into the Terrace Club. As we're at 0-2. And now here's the pitch. Here's going to be a ground ball right to the second baseman. Throw to first. That's going to be in time. That was Jorge Polanco making the play. Wonder if Cole Young is going to get his opportunity. I want to look at the last game of the 2001 regular season and see where that was at. And now here is the pitch to Mookie Betts. And that is a strike. So it was 2001. Let's go to their 161st game as we're at 161. And the pitch. Low for a ball. Now the pitch. Now here's going to be a fly ball to center field, and Julio makes the catch, and that's going to be 2 outs. So the lineup for the 2001 Mariners was this. And there's Freddie Freeman. Now the pitch. Low for a ball. So it was Stan Javier was your leadoff. Ichiro didn't even play this game. Then it was Mike Cameron. Brett Boone, who was the only one who got the run. It was a home run off of Doug Davis in the first inning. The pitch. And that made it his 37th home run of the season. Then it was Edgar Martinez, Ed Spray at first base, and then John Olerud took over for defensive purposes. Now here is the 2-0 pitch. Up high for a ball. Then Jay Buhner got the start, and he got 2 walks on 3 plate appearances. And then Charles Gibson took over. Dan Wilson, David Bell, and Mark McLemore. And now the 3-0. And that's going to be ball 4, take your base. And now we've got Freddie Freeman at first base. The starting pitcher was Denny Stark. You guys probably don't remember who that was, but very obscure pitcher for the Mariners. He was part of that Jeff Cirillo trade. Then he came back to the Mariners after being absent in Major League Baseball for 5 years. Didn't really have much of a career, unfortunately. But he was actually out of baseball for 3 years too. Wow. But yeah, Denny Stark was your pitcher in 2001. Now the pitch, and that's going to be a strike. Yeah, so in the bullpen, it was Paul Abbott came out of the bullpen, which was pretty random because they only got 3 innings and they put in Paul Abbott. Then it was Joel Pinheiro, Jeff Nelson, and Kazuhiro Sasaki. Doug Davis was the only one that pitched. He pitched 8 full innings. Now we're at 1-2 on pages. And then going into 2001, the final game of the season, because we're at 1-2 in the pitch. Outside for a ball. That's going to be 2-2. Ichiro. Then it was Mike Cameron, Brett Boone, Edgar Martinez, Jay Buhner, and the pitch. And now here's a fly ball drilled to left field. Oh, no. Randy makes the catch. And that looked good on that angle. But they got out of the inning, and now it's going to go into the bottom of the 8th inning.
Taco lovers, this one's for you. Come enjoy tacos auténticos at Snoqualmie Mexican food truck, packed with flavor, made with love, and always fresh. Try our carne asada, al pastor con piña, and more. Topped with cebolla, cilantro, y a squeeze of lime. Pair it with a cold drink and relax at our outdoor seating. Perfecto para disfrutar. Find us at the Snoqualmie Mexican food truck, open daily. Ven con hambre, sal fies.
Now I'm looking at the Mariners lineup. So it goes with Ichiro, Mike Cameron, Brett Boone, Edgar Martinez, John Olerud, Jay Buhner. Then he got replaced for Gene Kingsale. Who was Gene Kingsale out of all people? Didn't really have much of a career either. Wow. Then it was Dan Wilson, David Bell, Mark McLemore. Then they went to Ed Spray. Then Ramon Vasquez took over for defensive purposes. Then your pitchers were Aaron Thiele, Norm Charlton, Jose Paniagua, Arthur Rhodes, and then Jeff Nelson, who lost the game. Pat Mahomes Sr. was actually the winning pitcher for that game for the Texas Rangers. And then Jeff Zimmerman was your closer with 28 saves. Wow. And we are back from the break, and this is Alex Besa. Now here's Eugenio Suarez up to the plate, and now here's the pitch. And that's going to be inside for a ball. Haesung Kim is now taking over for the defense. As now we're at 1-0. And now the pitch. And that's going to be in there for a strike. Suarez is batting 0 for 3 with 49 home runs. And now the pitch. Low for a ball, and that is going to be 2-1. Is now we're at 2-1. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Two and 2. And the pitch. Up high for a ball. That's going to be 3-2. And the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is going to be 1 out. Next up to bat is going to be Dom Canzone. And what can Dom Canzone do? Now here's Dom Canzone. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Canzone would like to get one out of there, wouldn't he? Batting .302 with 11 home runs and 32 RBIs. He's had a red-hot September, especially that 3-home run game that he had earlier this season, earlier in September against Kansas City. And now the 0-1 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Yep, he did. That's going to be 0-2. This game could possibly go into extras, could it? As now we're at 0-2 for Canzone. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's going to be 2 outs. And now we're going to be looking at Luke Raley. Now it's going to be a swing and a miss. Wow. Mariners aren't really doing much. Because now we're at 0-1. And now the pitch. Up high for a ball. That's going to be 1-1. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that is going to be strike 2. Could be 3 strikeouts in a row in this inning for the reliever. Now we're at 1-2. And now the pitch. And a swing and a miss again for strike 3. 3 strikeouts in a row in this inning. And we're going to go into the top of the 9th inning. It was literally 3 strikeouts in a row. Eugenio Suarez, Dom Canzone, and Luke Raley. And the Dodger pitcher was feeling it.
Taco lovers, this one's for you. Come enjoy tacos auténticos at Snoqualmie Mexican food truck, packed with flavor, made with love, and always fresh. Try our carne asada, al pastor con piña, and more. Topped with cebolla, cilantro, y a squeeze of lime. Pair it with a cold drink and relax at our outdoor seating. Perfecto para disfrutar. Find us at the Snoqualmie Mexican food truck, open daily. Ven con hambre, sal fiez. Now sizzling at Apollo Mediterranean Greek Food. Come enjoy our flat-top grilled Greek chicken and beef, Slovaki tender, juicy and bursting with Mediterranean flavor, served with savory yellow rice, fresh daily cut veggies for our crisp salads, homemade hummus, plus warm pita, and our signature tzatziki, perfect for a fresh filling meal made with care. Cold beer available. Order now at apollogreekfood.com. Come visit us for a delicious meal and a cold beer. We'd love to serve you.
It looks like we are back from the break. Looking at the wild card, the playoff standings, it looks like everything is pretty much set. Cincinnati Reds actually just barely squeaked into the playoffs. Padres got in as well. Almost kind of got the division away from the Dodgers, but didn't happen. And all those 4 Asian players, Roki Sasaki, Yamamoto, Shohei Ohtani, and Haesung Kim, 4 Asian players playing a part of the Dodgers run, especially Shohei Ohtani, the best player in baseball. And now we got Andres Munoz up on the mound, and now the pitch. And that is outside for a ball. Very interesting decision. Maybe try to use any other pitcher, but I guess they really want to win this game and get him some work so he's not getting rusty, And now here is the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that is going to be strike 1. Wonder who got the most saves in Mariners history. I think it's Edwin Diaz. Edwin Diaz has 57. Rodney had 48 in 2014. Kazuhiro Sasaki with 45 saves. JJ Putz had 40 in 2007. Now the pitch. And it's going to be low for a ball. Then it goes to Andres Munoz at 38. David Ardsma at 38 in 2009. Brandon League 37 in 2011. Kazuhiro Sasaki did it both in 02 and 2000. JJ Putz 36 in 06. And now here is the pitch. Up high for a ball. Same thing with Eddie Guardado. Jose Mesa, believe it or not, had 33 in 1999. Out of all players, it was him. Paul Sewald had about 20 in 02 and 2022 and 23, so he was their closer. And I really do miss Paul Sewald. And a pitch. And low for a ball. Paul Sewald is now 35 years old. He plays for Detroit, but he hasn't really had much of a season. So we're at 1-0. And the pitch. Low for a ball. And by the way, there's a man on first base that I wasn't paying attention to that. Oh boy, this inning could get ugly real quick for the Mariners, could it? But it's good to see that the Mariners are in the playoffs. It's just, you want to just finish the season on the right note. It doesn't always work that way to just completely just flip the switch. So we're at 2-0 for Munoz. And that's what I'm worried about too, is how can Munoz really handle the playoff pressure? That's what I want to know. Is we're at 2-0 for Call. And now the pitch. And that's going to be right in there for a strike. And that's going to be 2-1. We're at 2-1. And now the pitch. And that's going to be popped up and fouled. And it's going to be 2-2. We're at 2-2 again. And now the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. Now we're at 3-2. Ah, ball 4, take your base. And now we got runners on first and second with nobody out. Ugh. What are we going to do? And now we got Miguel Rojas up to the plate. And now the pitch going to be a bunt attempt. That's going to be outside for a ball. And you would just imagine that it does just seem like a matter of time that the Mariners just completely just kind of blow this, as we're at 1-0. And it's going to be another bunt attempt. It's going to be popped up, and that's going to be way foul. Miguel Rojas is trying to make something happen. Now we're at 1-1. And now the bunt attempt, and it's going to be foul ball, strike 2. And now he can't bunt again unless he wants to risk striking out. Now we're at 1-2. And the pitch. It's going to be outside for a ball, and Munoz is really losing command on his pitch. Two and two. And the pitch. It's going to be a foul ball again on a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. And this inning just goes on and on and on. We got Caleb Ferguson in the bullpen. I'm starting to think they should have just used him. I mean, Munoz in a non-save situation, I just didn't think it was necessary. As we are at 2-2. And now the 2-2 pitch. Here's going to be a ground ball. That's just going to get one play. That's just going to be an out at first. And now you got one out. And now the question is, who's going to be up next? It's going to be Enrique Hernandez, and I would probably just take the bat away from him. But that would bring in rushing. And I kind of don't want to face him either because he had just hit a home run. But I wonder if they're going to put him on the base just to get the bases loaded. Nope, they're not going to. And now the pitch. Now here's a fly ball drilled to left field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. That's going to score in 2 runs, and that is going to be 4-3. That's going to be a 5-3 Dodgers lead on Enrique Hernandez's big hit, and now the Dodgers now lead at 5-3. And Mariners are just not careful at all. That's going to get Munoz himself a loss if the Mariners don't come back and win this game. But I think, based on this, I think that just pretty much knocked him out. And Dodgers fans were cheering. There's a lot of Dodgers fans. Now the pitch, and a swing and a miss, and that is going to be a strike. But yeah, this game does pretty much seem out of reach at this point. Mariners had a 3-2 lead, and they just completely blew it after that. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a strike, and that's going to be strike 2. Now it makes you wonder how they're going to fare against other teams in the playoffs if they're playing games like this. Whew. Because now we're at 0-2 for the Dodgers. And now the pitch. Now here's going to be a fly ball to center field, but Julio makes the catch, and that is going to be 2 outs. But Hernandez is going to go to third base. We play the NL, and we're in trouble. And that's if they make it to the World Series, Rodney. And welcome to the show, Rodney. Thanks for being here. Maybe they need that pep talk from my friend Chad. And now here is the pitch. And that's going to be a ground ball right to first. And here is Rayleigh tossing it to Munoz, and that's going to be in time. And that's going to retire the side. But, however, the Dodgers have taken a 2-run lead on an Enrique Kiki Hernandez 2-run double. Kills the Mariners once again. And now we're going to go into the bottom of the 9th inning.
My point is it's across all Seattle sports. It's this idea, like people pleading 3-4 years ago to bring back Ichiro when Ichiro's like 93 years old. I'm like, no, I do not want to bring back Ichiro. Like Griffey when he's got a walker out there and he gives you a single every 60 games. Like the list goes on and on. Like people crying, like Haniger comes back, and you think that we just signed a Hall of Famer. Like he was injured all of last year. He's like 33 years old. We trade for him, give up on Robbie Ray, which whatever, and all of a sudden, I swear, all of Twitter is like, "World Series, baby! Let's go! Let's go!" He was a negative WAR player for them last year, but because we love Hanny, baby. He's going to come and save the Mariners.
Yeah, that never gets old. That's a 2024 classic right there. I know, BC, whatever. Oh, Josh Naylor. Is any news on him? Let me check. It just says he's day-to-day. And we are back from the break, and this is Henriquez. He is kind of more of a new pitcher. Now here is Leo Rivas up to the plate. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. As now we're at 0-1. Rivas is batting .259 with 2 home runs. And now the pitch. And that's going to be a foul ball. Now we're at 0-2. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is going to be 1 out. And it does seem that the Mariners are pretty much just milking it at this point. So right now it's going to be Harry Ford and then Randy Arozarena, and maybe a small chance that Cal Raleigh gets one more at bat to try to get to 61. And now here is Harry Ford up to the plate. And now here's the pitch. Way inside for a ball, and that was a 102-mile-an-hour fastball. How is Harry Ford going to fare at this one? He is 1 for 3 with a single. As we are at 1-0 for Ford. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss went right through him, and that's going to be strike 1. Now we're at 1-1, and the pitch. And that's going to be outside for the ball. Just throwing the towel for tomorrow and get swept by the Dodgers with all their fans filling our stadium. Pretty much. Does feel like it, doesn't it? So we're at 2-1. And now the pitch. Low for a ball. This guy is just throwing heat. Heat schmeat. But it is 3-1 for Harry Ford. And if he gets on base, that will give Cal Raleigh a really good chance to get one more at bat. And now the 3-1. And now here's a fly. Foul. That looked really good. Went into the third deck in foul territory. He did really show that power in him and just went foul. You would wonder what the question is going to be for Harry Ford, knowing that Cal Raleigh is already the bona fide superstar for a catcher for the Mariners. What does the role set in place for Harry Ford? Does he get the Mitch Garver role for next year? Questions to be answered. And now we're at 3-2. And now the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. And the Mariners are now down to their final out as we got Randy Arozarena. And if maybe Randy Arozarena could get a nice little dribbler to get Cal Raleigh up to the plate. Because we'd like to see Cal Raleigh get a chance for home run number 61. But 60 home runs is pretty darn good. Now here's El Rando Grando. And the pitch. He just takes a step back, and that is going to be a strike. 2 strikes away, and the Mariners will have lost their series to the Dodgers, and they're losing to a B-level team. As we're at 0-1. And now the pitch. And that is a foul ball, and it's game time. So the Mariners had a 3-2 lead after being down 2-0. Then they stumbled recently, especially in Andres Munoz's atrocious 9th inning, where he easily let 2 men on. That led to the 2-run double by Kiki Hernandez. And now we're at 0-2. Now the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike 3, and the ball game is over. The Dodgers take the series, taking 2 games of the 3-game series, and now there will be one more game tomorrow where Mariners will play their final game at T-Mobile Park for the regular season and want to see who the starter is for the Mariners. It's going to be Bryce Miller going up against Clayton Kershaw, who's going to have his final regular season start of his career, and this also does feel like a throwaway game as well. So there we go. So this game is over. Series is pretty much over. And all I can say, the disappointing part was Mariners left quite a bit of men on base. And also Andres Munoz couldn't hold the 9th inning. I just didn't think that he was the right pitcher to do it. But yeah, bullpen was absolutely on fire for the Dodgers. Got to give him credit. But Andres Munoz, I think, shouldn't have pitched today, but I think they just kept him in there just to see what he could do. But that's going to do it. I'm going to take off. Everyone, thank you for being here. And also, big shout out to the Toast for giving me a $5 toast. And everyone, that'll be it. And have a good night.